All right, then here we are. And here we are alone here at 10 o'clock. I was about 10 minutes late. I apologize. But I was preparing the rant of the day. Actually, the rant of the week. Actually, the rant of the month. And maybe the rant of the year. So here we go. One of the things I'm going to address today is Band-Aids and your inability to buy a large Band-Aid in the Philippines, which set me off on a course of action that you would just not believe. And I didn't document it because my GoPro was broken and has to be shipped back, and my other camera was buried underneath a bunch of stuff. But yesterday I went to 7 pharmacies and drugstores, and including 1 hospital, and no one had an oversized Band-Aid, which I would consider a normal Band-Aid, 1 inch thick, or about 14 millimeters in width, and maybe 28 millimeters in length. That's a normal size Band-Aid, plus the rubber strapping. No one has an oversized Band-Aid, which would be like 1.5 inches wide this way and 4 inches long this way. Nobody in Bohol. Okay, there was a place 60 kilometers away. The woman next to me was a nurse. She said, we have them at our hospital in Hagna, spelled Janga, Hagna. But you have to go there. I said, yeah, right. Okay, so we're going to discuss medical supplies. We're going to discuss medical costs. And I'm going to discuss my 3 experiences with hospitals. Good morning, Gary. Bonoya. This one's going to go, this is a rant. Okay, I'm just preparing you. This is a rant. I had such a terrible day in Bohol yesterday for so many different reasons. I'm just going to let it rip. I'm going to explain to everybody my experiences with the hospital that I had my foot treated in, which was nothing but professional. And I'm going to tell you about my experiences of another hospital down the block named Ramiro Hospital, which is a total fraud. Okay, there is nothing about Ramiro Hospital. There is no redeeming quality about Ramiro Hospital. And everything that Borja Hospital did was professional and reasonable, and they kept the agreement as to the prices. But the Ramiro Hospital, 2.5 times the quoted price for some dental work, and the cavity fell out 5 days later, and 1,500 pesos for a service that wasn't even provided, and I had to demand that the police come to the facility if they wanted to collect 1,500 pesos. So now, expat prepper, let me finish my points, and I don't need that because I use gauze and I have duct tape and other things. Let me finish my points, please, and then I will go address your questions. But first, I have to go through the bullet points, and that's going to take about 20 minutes. Okay, so thank you for that. Now, so we're going to discuss 3 hospitals, the cost of overnight stays in the hospital, the medical facilities and quality of the hospital care, and the professionalism of the hospitals or non-professionalism, as in the case of Ramiro Hospital, which is, in my life, I've been in many hospitals for different reasons, for myself and people at work that I knew that went into the hospital from work, not because of an incident on my job, but for other problems, family members. I have never seen such poor service. Let's clear this up right now. Ramiro Hospital, which I'm going to put a link for in the description box, you can look at where the hospital was, the worst hospital experience I ever experienced, and they charged me 2.5 times for the dental work that they did, and the cavity fell out 5 days later. And when I went back, The woman says she's still going to have to charge me another 1,500 pesos to replace a cavity that fell out 5 days after she installed it, which at that point, I was new to the Philippines, relatively new to going to hospitals. I didn't really know where to go with the issue, and I moved on to the next doctor that I was going to see in that hospital, which was an ear doctor. And he was a regular ear doctor that had the qualifications and his plaques up on the wall. This is before the cavity fell out, after the first dental visit, and an hour or so after the dental visit, after I got my number, called to go into the office, because you couldn't go right into the office. You got a number right away, but you couldn't go into the office because there were so many people in the office. So it was a 2-hour plus 2.5-hour wait to go into the ear doctor's office. So I get my number called, and I go into the ear doctor in Ramiro Hospital, and the gentleman at the set, he was a nurse, gentleman nurse, says, fill out these forms. So I said, before I fill out the forms, what's the service fee to clean the wax out of my ear? He knew exactly what I wanted. He said 1,500 pesos, sir, which at the time, when pesos were 38 pesos to the dollar, was 40 bucks or thereabouts. Don't quote me on the dollar amount. The incidentals of a few dollars are not what the point of this conversation. The point of the conversation was that 40 bucks to clean my ears in the Philippines, as opposed to 100 bucks in America, I thought it was a deal. So I go and sit down in the office, fill out my forms. I said to the guy, how long is the wait? He goes, about 2 hours. So I take a walk around the hospital. Absolutely deplorable conditions. People sitting in the hallway, garbage on the floor, floors not cleaned and waxed and shiny like we have in America. People sleeping on the floor, okay? People there for hours or maybe all night. Place smelled. The bathroom looked like a public restroom in the New York City subway system in the 1970s, where people just aimed at the toilet bowl. Okay, it was disgusting. But I need the wax cleaned out of my ears because I can't hear a thing. So I come back an hour later. I sit down in the office and I get to meet the doctor. We're in there. I know I have wax in my ears. I had the wax cleaned out before. It cost me $100 to have the wax cleaned out in America. I can feel the wax. If I take a toothpick, I can take a chunk of wax out of there. It's hard. Not as hard as a fingernail, but it's much harder than, it's like a scab that you'd have over the blood scab. So now I can feel it. I take I had a dental floss pick. I said, I can feel it. He goes, sir, there's no wax in your ear. I said, what are you talking about? I said, they put the machine, they blow water in with one hose, and then they suck it out with another hole, similar to when they put water in your mouth at a dentist and they blow with a pressure washer in your teeth, and then the other one is sucking it out. They have two tools. I said, you need to get the wax out of my ear. Sir, you have no wax in your ear. I'm going, what are you talking? I can't even hear you. The wax is so bad. So this shyster at Ramiro Hospital is not going to give up the ghost. He's going to tell me there's no wax in my ear and I can't hear anything. But he does very calmly, in a very professional manner, being the shyster that he was in Ramiro Hospital. He takes a piece of paper and writes down the name of another ear doctor about a block away that he calmly says, sir, there's a doctor down the block that might be able to help you, but he will give you a second opinion. But I am explaining to you there's no wax in your ear. So I said, well, then you know what? Here's what we need to do. I'm not going to pay you for any money because you didn't perform a service. Yes, sir. You have to pay us 1,500 pesos. Now, I'm fresh out of New York. I'm maybe less than a year out of New York. And I said, dude, I'm not giving you any money. Get the police. Okay? Because that part of it, I understand. I don't have a problem with calling the police. When I'm right, and I explained it I have never in my life ever been harassed or been proven wrong in many of my statements that I've made to the police about people accusing some of my men of robbing stuff, and then they find the material behind the bureau, or they left it in their pillow or some kind of nonsense like that. Get the police. So now he said, you need to get the police. One way or another, I'm walking out of here. I'm not paying you. So you're going to have to get the police to arrest me, or we're going to have to get the police, or I'm going to stand in front of your office, in the office of Ramiro Hospital, and the desk, I'm going to stand in front of this building for the next 2 days and tell people that you're a thieving shyster hospital. I didn't even know about the cavity which didn't fall out for 5 more days that I just had installed at 2.5 times the original price, quoted from the dentist. So we get the building, the supervisor of Ramiro Hospital comes, wherever she came from, she comes down and she explains to me that she wants to hear the story from the doctor first. So he told his story. So before you ask the doctor, I'm going to tell you he's a liar. Because all you have to do is look in my ear and you're going to see wax. And he's going to tell you there's no wax in my ear and that he can't help me. That he's a liar. I didn't know the word bakakun at the time. So she hears his side of the story. So I says, now, before you hear my side of the story, look in this ear, like this, and look in this ear, and you're going to see wax. He's telling you that wax is not there, and he wants to charge me 1,500 pesos for not removing the wax. Well, in order for me to get out of there, I had to pay him 500 pesos for them. They said the administration cost. Basically, they just shoved the DOD in dry, and they didn't care about the foreign. That's my experience at Ramiro Hospital. Now I'm going to tell you about my experience at Borja Hospital, who treated my foot. 2 thumbs up. If I had more thumbs, I'd give you more thumbs up. Now, how you don't go to Ramiro Hospital is you walk out of the BQ Mall and you go to the right. You're going to see a big building that's being extended beyond any comprehension, a new building. That's Ramiro Hospital. Where Borja Hospital is to the left outside of the back of the BQ Mall, about 150 feet to the left, maybe 175 feet maximum. That's a small little hospital where every quote of every product and every price and every price that was given to me before the service was done, and all the incidental fees I asked the prices for before they were done. That's the way I am. I do business. People ask me for a price. How much to put in a deck? I can't tell them. I'll let you know when it's done. So I want a price up front. That's business. Business is business. The Borja Hospital, everything they gave me a price for, which it was in 5 or 10% off. There was no exact price, but it was within 5 to 10%, which is acceptable. In business too, by the way, a price quote of $100 could be 90 or 110. That's the law. 10% is an acceptable percentage, just in case anybody's interested. So, Borja Hospital, I'm going to tell you the procedures that they did, and I'm going to tell you that their facility is different than the Ramiro facility for a lot of reasons. Maybe the Ramiro facility now has certain things, but I don't know. But other hospitals that I've went to for other issues did not have like a blood testing center. Borja has a blood testing center, and I'll give you the prices for that in a few minutes. Now, I'll give you the price of an X-ray in Borja Hospital. Okay, 2 X-rays for my foot to check for bone damage were 350 pesos or $7. I don't know what X-rays would cost in America, but they would be in the hundreds of dollars for 2 X-rays for your foot, and that included a piece of paper quantifying that there was no bone damage and no broken bones. So that included like a document of saying it. Now, as far as the initial, okay, I walked in off the street, my foot was ripped apart. I mean, there was infection, 1/2 inch thick and 2 1/4, 2 3/8 of an inch wide and 2 1/2 inches long. The infection was this big under the skin. I showed the doctor on duty, Dr. Pestilis, Pestilles, Dr. Pestilis. Okay. He looked at my foot. I was in the hospital 15 seconds when they said go to the emergency room. When they looked at my foot, I was in the emergency room for 30 seconds, and I was on the table having my foot addressed. Even though there were other people ahead of me, he said, "You're first. You're going first." So okay. So what they did was they took off. I had a dressing that was flapping on and off to show the outside medical staff that this was an emergency. They took that off. Dr. Pestless walked over to the table. He spoke with a nurse named not Lynn, but her name was like Marilyn or Madeline. It wasn't that, but she was behind a mask, and I couldn't remember her name because I was in so much pain. Tells her what to do. They take a knife and they start cutting. No painkiller at all. I had taken an aspirin the night before. No painkiller, and I drank more than a. I drank almost a half a bottle of rum at 4 o'clock in the morning just to calm myself down. That's how much pain there was. And Daisy and I have one shot of rum before we go to sleep for medicinal purposes to calm us down to go into sleep. So now I'm in, and they take out a knife, and that woman started cutting. It looked like she was making like a letter, like a stencil. She cut that dead, masked, rotten skin off, and it hurt. Oh, I have a video of that on my Patreon account. Okay, so she gets all the dead skin off. I have the video. They didn't want me to video, but I told them I make videos for YouTube, and I told them no one would ever see it. And it would never be in the public domain, which it's not going to be, but it's in the private domain. I explained that to the gentleman and the nurse, and they said, okay, just don't put our faces in it. And I said, what difference does it make? You have a mask on. So they laughed. So I deemed them Dr. Payne and Dr. Payne, Dr. Payne 1 and Dr. Payne 2, which actually stuck because now they said, would you like Dr. Payne to come down and dress your wound after a few days? I mean, each day afterwards for a few days, and then another lady that was not as high up on the chain as Dr. Payne Lynn. So now the whole cost of all of that fill out the paperwork, put me in the emergency room, cut off the dead, rotting skin, put Benadine on the wound, clean the wound, put Benadine on the wound, clean the wound again, put Benadine on the wound again, cut some more skin, put Benadine on the wound, clean the wound, and then dress it with this product here called sulfadiazine. They put almost an entire tube of this product on, which was the cost of this tube is 400 pesos or $8. In America, it's $16. So the price of this silver sulfadiazine is half the price in the Philippines as it is in America. However, it's a prescription drug. You need to have a prescription. I'm going to give you a little hint about prescriptions in the Philippines. The doctor's going to give you a prescription, which I'm going to go over the cost of pain medication and antibiotics as well. The doctor's going to give you a prescription. You go have it filled out. You go to the pharmacy across the street, you have it filled out again. Twice in one day across the street. They don't mark it so that I think they do this on purpose, but I have been told you could use the same prescription except for painkillers. After a few days, they won't give you the painkiller refill, which is fine because I don't want them anyway. But for antibiotics, if you're a local, sometimes up to 3 to 5, 6 months, they'll give you another prescription. But what I did was I got a double order, and then I went back for another order in case I have another infection or Daisy gets an infection. So that's one way to save money. You can use your prescription a month later, except for painkillers. I would imagine diet pills are the same. They will not give you diet pills. Okay, I'm going to go play with the baby. Okay, say goodbye. Daisy's going to go play with the baby next door. Yeah? What are the baby's names?
The baby's name is Julie.
Yeah, I think it's Julian or something like that. And the other?
Napoli.
Natalie. That's right. That's right. I'm not good with babies' names. Maybe if I had one. Maybe if you had one, I'd remember. I have trouble remembering Daisy's name. Sometimes I call Daisy one thing, and sometimes I call Daisy something else. Sometimes I call her honey, come here, babe. Now, I never use the word babe. Sweetheart, what did you do? She knows I'm talking to her. What did you do? Okay, you're gonna help me. You have to bring. You want to bring a gift for them or anything?
No.
No. Some of the breakfast. Maybe you bring a little plate for her. No.
For her?
Maybe she would like that. She doesn't cook. Yeah, maybe just a small bowl, just a snack, just a taste. We made some. All right, so we made fresh baton, which is like a string bean, and garlic, lots of garlic and eggs. All right, so now, okay, so now I get the bill. Okay, so now the gentleman wants me to get the doctor observes the procedure. He doesn't get involved with the procedure at all. So I'm laying on the table making the video, and they dress the wound, and I get off the table and I go over to the doctor. He fills out a piece of paper for antibiotics. I'm gonna have to get. Okay, here it is right here. This antibiotic, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was 500 milligram capsules, but there's 125 milligrams of the antibiotic itself in here. Myclav 625. Okay, the 6 tablets in here. These tablets were 25 pesos or 50 cents a piece for this quality and this magnitude of antibiotics. Now, a typical load of this type of product is 30 milligrams for like a cold or a flu, or 20 milligrams. So you have to understand this is 4 times or 5 times the normal dosage for a flu or a stomach virus or some sort of bacteria. So these were basically 50 cents a piece for this antibiotic. Now, and there was a different antibiotic which was even more powerful. That was the same price, 50 cents per pill. Now, there was another product. Okay, the third price of the medicine was for painkillers. Now, Daisy, give me the ice cream container with the pills in it over there, please. The third was painkillers. This is going to rock your world for a painkiller in the Philippines. Okay, pain pills from a pharmacy, a major brand of painkiller. I don't know how to pronounce this stuff, but yeah, well, you could figure it out for yourself.
Want me to close the curtain?
Yeah, please. Okay, it's mefenamic acid. I'll tell you what the pill looks like. Okay, let's get the name up there again. Okay, it's a pink pill, and I think this is the one with the codeine in it. Now you're only going to see a half a pill, because I only take like an eighth or a tenth of a pill just to knock. I only took the eighth or a tenth of a pill to knock the edge or the pain off. So it's pink in color, and these pills are 12 pesos each. 12 pesos or 24 cents, and it has codeine in it. I'm pretty sure I read that it has codeine in it. I'm not positive. Either way, you take one of those pills, you're not going to remember yesterday. You're going to take the pill, and they're only 25 cents a piece. Okay? Now, that pill, I did get a double prescription of. Okay? Now those usually want 12 of these pills. I had root canal 3 years ago, and 12 pills last. This is the last pill from 3 years ago from a root canal that I had done. So I had the prescription double filled. They had no problem with that. They actually had it double filled at the same pharmacy. I told them I needed another. The next day I went back to the pharmacy when I had my wound addressed. So now we're going to digress back to the doctor's office. So we have this medication, which is this antibiotic. This is 25 pesos each or 50 cents a piece. The painkillers are 25 cents a piece for a codeine-based painkiller. I think they're codeine. I don't know. Take one and knock you out. You won't remember anything. And then the other pain pill the other antibiotic was also for edema. And in one pill I took of that prescription, they were 50 pesos each, 25 pesos each, 50 cents each. In one day, my legs went from swelled like this to that. So you're talking cheap medicine in the Philippines. Now, for the doctor's costs, the entire visit with the silver sulfadiazine, the entire visit with this tube, which they actually gave me what was left in the tube, and then I went to the commissary in the hospital and I bought 5 more tubes because they used almost the whole tube the first day, so I figured I might as well get it all at once. Okay, Peekaboo said generic name, Mepha. Okay, thank you, Peekaboo. Those pills were 25 cents a piece. I don't know what you pay for them in America. I don't remember. So the whole doctor's visit, the emergency room, 2 nurses, legal nurses they were, not assistants, and the doctor's supervision was 4,600 pesos or $90. Okay, so it was $90 for the emergency room, cut the dead skin off, clean the wound, dress the wound, put the medicine on, and the doctor. So that's what the hospital cost as Roja Hospital. Now I'm going to tell you the bad part about hospitals in the Philippines in general. First of all, Roja is nothing but top class, grade A, everything. The X-ray room is immaculate, clean, professional, nice people, pleasant people, smart people, interesting people. Okay. The doctor called for a full panel, what they call a full panel workup of everything that's in my body was checked. I don't know what any of this stuff means, but I'll show it to you. Okay, there's my name is at the top. Now letters, these letters here have a meaning. I don't know what they mean. I'll go through it slow. So this is what the full panel blood test consisted of. So we're on the first page, and we're at the parts, whatever it says it is. Okay. So on this first page, everything in all the blood work and all the urine analysis and all the red and white blood cells, everything was perfect, and I was not diagnosed as diabetes. So I was high, but I had told them how much alcohol I drank. Now, this is the next day where I had a fast. So I did fast for 10 hours before the exam, before the blood work. But I did tell him before that I had a lot of pan, which is sugary bread. So my blood sugar was 179, whereas my age, that's borderline problematic, but now it's down to like 140. So this is the second page of things. I don't know what any of this stuff means. All I know is that each item that he addressed while I was sitting down at his table All right. F, I could read it. I'll read it in a minute, but I just wanted to put it up on the screen. That's page 2, and this is page 3. And I'll read this after I put it up on the screen. I'll just read the name and the result, so that people that asked me if I was healthy, the answer is yes. Nothing was out of bounds, but the blood sugar was high. So just quickly, I'll read from page 1 if I understand what it is. The WBC, 74% perfect, in bounds. The HGB, 6.5%. The RBC was 17.3%. The HTC was 1.6%. The MCV was 0.4%. All right, I don't know what any of that means. The PLT, that was in bounds, in the correct area where it should be. Now we have something called FBS 115. That was okay. Uric acid 7.87. You said that was okay. HDL 60. Okay. Cholesterol 117. Okay. UDL 41. Okay. Triglycerides 78. Okay. Bun 22. Okay. Whatever the bun is. Okay. It gives you all the results. So in other words, there was nothing wrong with me. The blood count, red and blood count, red cells, white cells, all that stuff was normal. And the full panel workup that you just saw before you was including the urine analysis, because the blood is taken from your arm and the urine analysis taken from the Akomasikiyama. So those two things are part of the full panel test. That was 1,600 pesos, or about $34, maybe $32, excuse me. So $32 for blood work, complete blood work, checks for diabetes, checks for high blood pressure, checks for sugar, triglycerides, whatever else is in there. Okay, I wouldn't even try to remember any of that stuff because it has nothing to do with me. The doctor says it's okay, I'm okay. So we're talking about 4,600 pesos for the doctor visit, for the emergency room doctor visit, 2 nurses, cut out the dead skin, clean the wound, dress the wound properly, and 400 pesos worth of medicine. That was 4,600 pesos. The following day, I went back to have the wound dressed again after the blood test. So I'll give you the prices for the blood test. Once again, was 1,600 pesos, or $32. And to redress the wound was $4. So they took off the old dressing. They redressed the wound from the previous day and took a look at it because he was worried that I would have to go in for a skin graft or at least intravenous. He looked at it. He says, it's okay. And what are the chances of this thing healing up on its own? Because I'm looking at raw meat. There's no skin. We're looking at 4 square inches of raw meat. He goes, tenuous. I said, that means doubtful at best. So if you want to put me in the hospital now, I'll go in now. He said, no, we'll wait another couple of days. So I didn't have to go into the hospital. So that fee for the blood and the urine was 1,600. So we're up to 4,600 plus 1,600 is 6,200, I believe, 6,200 pesos. And the medicine for the first prescription of all the medicine was an additional 1,700 pesos. So we're up to 6,272, 7,900 pesos, under 8,000 pesos. And then I bought 5 tubes of medicine, 5 of these tubes. That was 2,000 pesos more for 5 tubes. They're 399 pesos a tube. So it cost me 10,000 pesos. And each time I went back to have it dressed, which was 4 more times so that they could look at it, was an additional 200 pesos or $4. So we're talking about 11,000 pesos or $220 for all of the medical work that was done on my foot. And I'm done now. I just go back next week for the when they see the final skin. Now I take care of the wound myself. So then I will tell you what, now I'm going to address, if you have questions about medical facilities in Bohol, I have to address one more issue in the bullet points I forgot. I'm not reading the bullet points. This is from memory. There is one more issue. The Roja Hospital is the best because it has the blood center, the urine analysis, x-ray equipment, and any special devices that they need to read the information they need to extract for your diagnosis. Anything, Roja has all of that stuff. Ramiro did not have that stuff. I needed a blood test at Ramiro. They didn't have it. I ended up going to the Roja Hospital 3 years ago. So they didn't have it. So I don't know if they have it now. So I can't say they don't have it now, but I'd never set foot in. They would have to bring me in on a stretcher half dead to go into the Ramiro Hospital. That's how they could get me back to do business with that hospital. So digressing back to the last cost and the most expensive cost that could be experienced at the Roja Hospital versus another hospital called, hold on, I got the name of the hospital up on I got to expand this map. Holy Name University Medical Center, okay? Holy Name University Medical Center is the comparison I'm going to give you between Roja Hospital and the Holy Name Medical Center. If you have to stay overnight, if you need tests, Holy Name Medical Center doesn't have the facilities to do all the testing for the blood, urine, all the computers necessary to do the full panel workup. But Roja does. The price is about the same, about 2,000 pesos, just round it off. But they don't have all the testing facilities at Holy Name, whatever that name was I just said. Holy Name University Medical Center. But where you can save money at the Holy Name University Medical Center, their overnight stay is 1,000 pesos per night, or $20 a night. Roja, the overnight stay is 4,000 pesos a night. Okay. Now, they don't have a problem with you being tested at Roja, diagnosed at Roja, and then admitting you into the Holy Name University Medical Center, because the doctors rotate throughout the community. We're only talking about a 5-kilometer radius, and there's 25 hospitals. So each morning the doctors, Dr. Pestilis, who took care of my foot, he'd be more than happy to send you a note to check into the Holy Name University Medical Center. He has no problem with that, because he knows it's expensive bed stay at Roja Hospital, but Roja has the facilities to do more testing. So if you need an immediate test at the Holy Name University Medical Center, they have to take the test and send that information, send your blood work to Roja. That could take more hours. So could take a day. So that's the last point I had for costs in the Philippines hospitals. Now, if you have questions about dental, I can give you my experience and costs, and I could recommend a dentist, but I'd have to ask him first. He's my dentist. He's pretty busy, does several colleges. So I don't even know that he wants me. I don't know that he could even take on any more patients, because he does the dental work for several colleges in Tagbilaran, and I'm lucky to get a spot with him when I go there. So, but I could recommend other facilities, but through, not here. I won't. I would have to actually ask before I recommend a secondary dentist, I'd need to call him up and ask him, and I didn't do that. So, okay, so let's go. I'm going to start at the top of the comments. Thank you guys for waiting, by the way. Thank you. All right. Now, hello, Rabbi from Gary. Hello. Okay, expat prep. Michael, have you ever heard of an Israeli bandage? That's what I need. No, I have not, and I know that you're going to address that. I saw a quick note about that. Okay, Douglas Brewer. Okay. Ah, the Band-Aids. Okay, in the beginning, in the beginning, I was Daisy. Okay. In the beginning, I was talking to you about the inability to buy a Band-Aid. See, we have Band-Aids in America that are this big, like 1 inch strips by 3.5 inches long. But we have Band-Aids that are 2 inches by 5 inches long. We have Band-Aids in America that are 3 inches by 7 inches long. Now, the soft cushiony part could be a 3/4 by 1, or 1.5 by 2, or 2.5 by 3. They don't have anything bigger than a 3/4 inch wide Band-Aid, about this big, about I don't know. I guess it's 3.5 inches long and 3/4 of an inch wide. That is the only Band-Aid you can buy in Bahal. Daisy, please come here. Tell them how many pharmacies we went to and you asked them in your language. About, approximately. How many pharmacies did we go to get Band-Aids?
5, I think. 5 pharmacies.
And did they have it?
No, they don't have. They only have small.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So Daisy asked in their language. So there's no. Oh, wait, one more thing, Daisy. Each time, where's my medical box? Each time we asked for a Band-Aid, which I know you're all going to get jealous now, I have the original Band-Aid box, metal box. Each time we asked for a Band-Aid, how many times did they give us a gauze bandage? Each time.
Each time.
Each time I asked for a Band-Aid, they gave me one of these, which I already had. But they hear this Filipino thing is nothing. You like jamming this box into the side of my head. You ask a Filipino for a Band, B-A-N-D, Band-Aid, a Band-Aid, and they give you a bandage. The first 4 letters are the same, but this is a gauze pad, and this is a Band-Aid. If I took my camera and went to the 12 different stores that I've returned to sometimes twice and asked for a Band-Aid, each time they will give you a bandage. And when you tell them this is not what you want, what they do is they give you a bigger one. But they don't give you a Band-Aid because they don't sell oversized Band-Aids in the Philippines. And this bottle here of hydrogen peroxide, that's the biggest bottle of hydrogen peroxide you can get. It's as big as 2 fingers. Okay, that's it. That's the biggest bottle of hydrogen peroxide you can buy in the supermarket, in the pharmacy, in the drugstore, in the other supermarket, in the other pharmacy, in the other drugstore, in the hospital. That's as big as hydrogen peroxide that you can get. And the Benadine, this is like a, no, remember, I won't tell you the price. The Benadine, this Benadine product here, you bring your own stuff. Hydrogen peroxide is kind of like, once you open it up, you only have a few months to use it, maybe a year. This Benadine product, the biggest one you can buy is this size, the size of the hydrogen peroxide, which is like maybe 5 ounces, let's say 4.5 or 5 ounces. This is the biggest Benadine you can buy, the biggest. They don't make a bigger one. You can't get a bigger one. The hospital has liters of it, but you can't buy it bigger than this Benadine in Bahal. So if Douglas Brewer said, bring your own medical supplies, bring your own tape too. Don't come to the Philippines and look for this roll of tape because it ranges. This is the to put on a gauze pad, this little roll of tape here. It ranges. This is a 3M product. I have this left over from America, from my personal first aid kit. Though here, that little roll of tape with a 1/4 inch more tape on it, so it might be 5/16 of an inch total, is $4 for this little roll of tape. $4. So what I do, of course, is I use fragile tape to dress my wounds with, because I'm a very fragile guy. And this roll of tape, or if you go to Unitop is right next to the BQ Mall. If you go to Unitop, you get a roll like this for $1, less than $1. But this little roll here is $4. So we use that. We don't use it much. I'll show you what it looks like on the link. Works just fine. Okay, it works just fine. $1, $4. You be the one to decide. So, and if you want to get the fragile, it says fragile. If you feel like, that's $1.25. Just giving you the prices. So any medical supply, I don't care what you get, what you have in America, you can't buy anything here as far as medical supplies. A gauze pad. Do we have any more of those left, honey? No more gauze pads? Okay. A 3-inch by 3-inch gauze pad. The price of that is 12 cents for a 3x3 pad. A little bigger than this. 3x3 pad. All right, here's the 3x3 pad right here. That much is 12 cents. 4x4 is 20 cents. Okay. I don't know if that's cheap or not, but if you have medical supplies, and I don't care what they are, bandages, this box of gauze that I just showed you, is a ridiculous price. Oh, this little bottle of Benadine is $2.50. I don't know if that's a good price or not, but it's like 2.5 ounces, so it's like $1 an ounce for Benadine. Okay, this bandage, this little Rose Med gauze bandage, this box it's 4 yards. 4 yards by 4 inches. This bandage was $2.50 for this bandage, or 125 pesos. So, okay, so now I'm going to go back to the comments. Douglas Brewer, any supplies you bring with you, and you are allowed to bring needles on the plane. You're allowed to bring bayonets and swords. You're allowed to bring needles. But I brought needles because my dad was a diabetic, and we had thousands of them. We had bags of them all over the house. What could it hurt if I have a couple of needles and I want to do some fine work where I have to put oil on something, like work on something, and I need just a small amount of oil. So I basically was bringing the needles for oil, but I brought 5. And then also, I brought painkillers with me from America. If I needed to give myself a painkiller, because I brought suturing material also. If I needed this guy break open one of the painkillers I had, mix it up and give myself a local and do the suturing myself. So you're allowed to bring needles, you're allowed to bring bayonets, you're allowed to bring swords, you're allowed to bring a spear gun, but you're not allowed to bring any kind of guns or ammunition. So needles are okay. Okay, expat prepper tells me that military trauma and hemorrhage control wound dressing. Okay, that's what it is, but I don't know how to make it. Okay, here we go. Military field dressing, the Israeli emergency bandage is designed to treat a variety of wounds from minor to life-threatening. Okay, I guess I'll have to look that up myself, but thanks for giving me the name of the dressing. I'll take a look at it later on. But at this point, my foot is 10 days away from being able to put it into a boot and go back to work. Christopher thinks I'm entertaining. Thank you, Christopher. Lefty all around. Good morning, Lefty. Good evening, Lefty. I am Matt. I am FBI. Okay, you have your 15 minutes of fame. Please don't start with the you. That's nice that you said hello, Matt. Thank you very much. But if you have something to add, please. Okay, so please do. If you don't have anything to add, let us. People with real questions, because medical questions for people that are on getting ready to retire in the Philippines could be an important issue. Generic name, yeah, okay, all right. Now Bob says take a good probiotic for a while after you get done taking that. Yeah, I don't have any problems with my stomach, Bob, but thanks. You're the medical expert. If there's something wrong, if there could be something wrong with a man, shut that door, Daisy. If there's something wrong with a man, there could be something wrong with a man, and there might be something wrong with a man from chemicals or drugs or work hazards. Bob has that, or has had it happen to him before, is having it happen now, or has the potential. So Bob is the medical expert here on the chat window. Neighbor Bob. Hello, Bob. Okay. Okay. Peekaboo said, I had an emergency room visit and got two bills, one for $800 and another for $1,800, and they did nothing. That is with insurance paying $100 copay. God bless America. Yeah, Pads 46 says good morning and good evening to you, or good morning, depending on where you are. Yeah, I couldn't believe that the whole entire medical procedure was under $220. Everything. I'm done. Okay, so now do you guys have any questions about dental work? I can give you the prices of dental work. Oh, I'm gonna digress back to Ramiro and the Shyster dentist in Ramiro. But I'm gonna tell you something. I only had to meet the Shyster dentist in Ramiro because I went to the Shyster dentist at the Ayala Mall on the top floor next to the food court. That was the biggest shyster that I met in the Philippines as far as dentists until I got to the Ramiro dentist shyster. Okay. The first guy, I don't know, it's called Sweet Dreams or something like that, dentist, or whatever. It's at the top of the escalator. You get to the top of the escalator, you look to the left on a 45-degree angle, top of the Ayala Mall, where it used to be. 1,500 pesos to fill my cavity. It lasted a week. Then another 1,500 at the Ramiro Hospital lasted a week. So it cost me already 3,000 pesos and my $60, $75, and I don't have a cavity. Then I go back to the Ramiro Hospital after the cavity fell out within 5 days, and the woman tells me she wants to charge me another 1,500 pesos. I went, no. That woman's office I sat in front of for maybe an hour, telling people don't go to her, but Filipinos won't listen to anything a foreigner says. And I sat in front of the hospital for about an hour and a half, telling people don't go in the hospital. They're a bunch of shysters, especially the dental clinic. Nobody listened. They just kept going in. I don't know if they understood English or not, but that woman robbed me. She robbed me. Told me 400 pesos for a teeth cleaning, charged me 600. That's 50% more. Told me 600 pesos for the cavity, to fix the cavity. She charged me 1,500. Okay. She said, and I said, well, does that include a shot, like a Novocaine shot? She said, if you want one, we will give you one. And she charged me 400 pesos for that. So she didn't answer the question. She didn't lie, but she didn't answer the question. She knew she was going to charge me 400 pesos, but she made it sound like it was part of the plan. 88 Critico. Good morning. Good morning. I think you're from New York. Good morning. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, well, in the Philippines, you got to remember, I'm talking about being in a city and not being able to buy medical supplies. Forget the province. When I went to have the prescription filled at the province, they had of the 21 pills necessary, they had 7, which means they couldn't give me the prescription because you have to have 21 of the same pill. And when in the painkillers, they had 6 of the 12, which I took because painkillers are painkillers. Okay, Pads wants to know about dental implants. 4 years ago, they were 40,000 pesos a piece, which was about $1,000 each. But now they're upwards of $1,200 to $1,400 each. And I don't think you couldn't get those done in Bohol 4 years ago. But you could get them done in Cebu. Most people go to for their big dental work in Cebu, and the prices are the same. What I just said, about between $1,200 and $1,400 per implant. But you really need to go to Cebu or Manila to get that done. My dentist does implants, but it would cost you about 50% more, which is really worth it. But he doesn't put the post part of it in. He sends you someplace else. So basically, what would cost you at the time 40,000 pesos would have cost about 65 or 70,000 pesos because you have to have 2 dentists involved, 2 X-rays, and an X-ray for a dentist is $2. So if they look at your tooth and they take an X-ray of one tooth, they don't do peripheral X-rays. It was $2. It was 100 pesos per X-ray for a tooth 3 years ago. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's the foreign. 88 Critico says it's the foreigner price. They always try to. They slip it in dry every chance they get here. I'm going to digress back to what I did yesterday. I needed welding rod 5 weeks ago. I went looking for welding rod before this foot issues, maybe 6 weeks, and I bought welding rod at 20 kilos of welding rod. It's in another video at Tire Queen for 1,100 pesos. $22 for 20 kilos, $1 a kilo. I went to Build-A-Wear. They want 3,400 pesos. Same thing, 3,400 pesos. So instead of $1 a kilo, they want 3,000 pesos was 60. They want $60 instead of $20, 3 times the price. I went to City Hardware and they wanted 3,200 pesos, 3 times the price. So I went back to a place I buy other automotive supplies and I said, give me 20 kilos of rod. How much? 6,000 pesos. I said, no. I want the cheap stuff. Oh, those are no good. I said, I don't care whether they're good or not. That's what I want. So they were 3,000 pesos down. So do they have 2 prices? She was slipping it in every time she could. And I said, let me see the box. It was the same box. So she was charging me 3 times. Talk about foreigners' prices, the long nose tax, the Kano tax, the round eye tax. They will charge you as much as 3 times and tell you this is what you need, sir. And what that means is this is what I need. I'm going to rob you today with a smile on my face and say thank you very much. And they all do it. If you're not smart enough to see it coming, they're going to slip it in dry. Don't make any mistake about being a foreigner in the Philippines. If you don't have any street savvy and you don't shop, at least get 2 prices. But I go to 3 or 4 places before I buy anything. Okay, so yesterday I go back to the store, Tire Queen, and the welding rod was still 1,100 pesos or $1 a kilo. I bought a 40-pound box. Okay. I went to the other store that wanted 3,400 for the thing. I says, how much for those things? I can get them for 1,100. No, sir, you cannot. That's a different brand. No, it's the same brand. Sir, this is the price. They are not going to move for you. You can show them the box and the receipt, but don't do that. Because if you do that, they will call up the other business and tell the other business to raise their prices. And the other business will now raise their price to their price, so there's no competition. Because in the Philippines, there's no competition. If ICM Mall raises their prices 10% on food items across the board, BQ Mall raises their food prices 10% across the board. ICM did work in their mall, new aisles, new floors, new lights, new cameras. They didn't need any of that. And they raised their prices 20% or more on every item in the store. BQ did no work and 2 weeks later matched the prices of a 20% increase. That was 3 years ago, and they still never did a day's work there. Now, next year, BQ is going to redo their supermarket, raise their prices 20%, and ICM is going to raise their prices 20% because there's a no competition rule. If a man is selling apples on the street for 12 pesos and the guy next to him is selling apples for 10 pesos, they won't do that. They all charge 12 pesos. Nobody's going to sell you the apples for 10 or 9 pesos. You go a couple of blocks away, you might get them for 10 pesos, but if everybody on the block sells them for 12 pesos, everybody makes that extra money. Don't make a mistake. You're in the Philippines and you are a stupid foreigner with too much money, and they need to help you unload some of that money into their coffers, probably because they need to buy some ridiculous thing like an iPhone for 45,000 pesos. Okay, they don't spend their money on anything worthwhile. They don't own cars. They don't own boats. They don't own airplanes. They don't own yachts. They don't own high tech, 1,000cc Kawasaki motorcycles. They don't own any of that stuff. They pride their life's value on how much money their cell phone costs. They'll spend 8,000 pesos, $200, $300 for a cell phone case because that's their method of showing wealth. But they will not. There's 60 Filipino families on my block. Exactly 2 have cars. Exactly 2 have cars. Exactly 2 have cars. That's it. Out of 60 families. Maybe 20 have motorcycles, and the rest, they walk like I do. And I walk because I can't see at night driving at all. My night vision is terrible. So anyway, let's get back. Zamara Punch. There's a lot of good doctor in the Philippines. Yeah, well, how does that help this conversation? Did you name a doctor on an island that you want to recommend, or you're just making a statement so you could see your name in the chat window? If you have a particular doctor on a particular island and you have his address and or phone number, post it. Don't just come and say there's a lot of good doctors. There's probably a lot of good doctors in Russia, too. How does that help anybody here in the chat window? I'm not being a jerk, but if you're going to give advice or you're going to give information, give a piece of information, please, by all means. Give us the name of your doctor if you're happy with your doctor. If you're happy with your doctor, you could keep your doctor. You sound like Obama. Pads, I'm near Boston. It was $2,000 a tooth. So it's a little cheaper. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess $1,200 is only a little cheaper. It's an $800 difference or a 40% difference. But what if you had to have 4 teeth done? Typically, people will come to the Philippines and have 4 or 5 or 6 teeth, even if they're missing 6 teeth. So you figure 6, and you're going to get a discount on 6 teeth, by the way. So it could come down to like $900 a tooth. So if you had 6 teeth and you saved $800, you're saving $5,000 on dental costs. You're going to spend $1,500 for the airfare and another $1,500 for a hotel. So it kind of balances out, but you get to experience the Philippines for free, because what you would have spent for dental costs in America, Now you have a 1 month vacation in Cebu, and from Cebu you could go anywhere in a couple of hours on a plane or a boat. So if you, some people have 10 teeth done, you know, you get a big discount for that. I didn't. I don't feel I have a few teeth that are missing. I'm okay with that. So no, okay.
You want water?
Yeah, please, honey. I need water.
My teeth. Do you want my teeth?
Kiss.
My teeth.
Oh yeah, Daisy has beautiful. Daisy
Do
had.
you want my teeth?
You want
Do you want to use my teeth?
your teeth
Yeah.
for what? Like a medical picture?
No, because I'm just kidding.
Oh, she was making a joke. Daisy doesn't make a lot of jokes. So she surprises me with some of the things. What's that, honey? Oh, the dye.
Yeah.
So okay, so all right, so all right. So does anybody have any other prices? When does the hotel start again? As soon as my foot heals, the hotel starts again. Doctor told me if, well, doctor doesn't have to tell me anything. I still have raw meat, or the skin is forming on the last 2.5 square inches. But if you were a member of my Patreon account, you would know that because I keep those people up to date. No more questions about my foot. Thank you very much. Eyeglasses are not cheap. You might as well go to a witch doctor for eyeglasses in the Philippines. There are a bunch of snake oil salesmen pretending to be eye doctors. And I have an experience with two of them. One of them in the BQ Mall on the ground floor opposite Dunkin' Donuts. I would like to take that woman and put her in jail for lying, deceptive practices with no remorse whatsoever, where I ended up having an argument with her and asking for the police to come also to that store because the woman defrauded me on what she was going to provide and what she was going to get for me was two different things, and what she ended up giving me was three different things from what she originally said. So if you go to the Dunkin' Donuts in the BQ Mall and 20 feet away to the left, when you're going out the door, 20 feet to the left of Dunkin' Donuts is the biggest fraud optical center in the Philippines or in the world, maybe. Okay. The second place I went to was near the immigration office, right downstairs and 2 doors away from the immigration office. They were worse. But the difference is the first person I gave money to and I couldn't get my money back. I did fight with them to bring the police, and she gave me 300 pesos off the 1,200 peso price. But I had a fight with her and threatened to bring the police, and the glasses she sold me were worth about $1 on the street. On the open market in America, those dollar glasses in America were better than the ones she was selling me for $25 at the time. 1,200 pesos was 25 American dollars. So I got it down to 900 pesos, and I had a fight with her to do that. And the second place wanted 3,600 pesos, 2 doors away from the immigration office, to do my eye test and to make, again, special lenses. And I'll tell you what they tell you is special lenses. Special lenses, first of all, it's a story. It doesn't exist. They take a lens out of a box, a 20 here, they put a 40 here, or a 30 here, and a 60 here, and they pop it into a frame. But they tell you they're going to make custom glasses. And what they do is they'll show you the machine that is a router that's routing out the frame. Yeah, but that's for a custom frame. It's routing it out. So if you have custom frames, all that does is it takes a standard piece of plastic and routes it to the frame that you give them. But it's not a custom lens. But the big lie, in every store you go into the Philippines for optics, is you say, I want glass lenses. Yes, sir. And the first store, I said, this is going to be glass, not plastic. Yes, sir, glass, not plastic. They repeated it. And she gave me a plastic lens out of a box. because I walked outside the store and I walked away, and then I came back and I looked at the man who was making the router for the custom lens, and he had boxes in front of him: 20, 40, 30, 60, 100, left, right, 100. They are liars. So a 3,600 peso custom lens, glass, which is not glass, is the same thing you can buy for $1 in any pharmacy in America. Dollar lenses. I don't know where there's a real pharmacist, a real obstetrician. I don't know where there's a real eye doctor. I have no idea. I've walked into so many stores asking for glass lenses. Not possible to get glass lenses. One guy said we have to send it out to Manila. It has to be made. I don't know. You can order them online from Amazon, glass lenses, and get better glasses than you can buy in the Philippines. So forget about buying glasses in the Philippines. These glasses that I have on, I paid $8 a piece from readers.com. This is the second batch. I bought 15 pairs back in 2010. They lasted me until last year, and then I bought 15 more pairs, the same frame, the same color, no difference. Number 4, 4.55, 5.56, and 6. I think it was 6 is the biggest one I got. Maybe I bought more than 15 pairs. I bought five 4.5s, 5 5s, and then I bought 3 5.5s and 3 6s. So that's 6 and 10, 16 pairs. I paid, usually readers.com has free shipping always, and you can keep track of your order over the computer, which like where your order is. And these lenses started out at $12, but if you bought 5 or more pairs, you got a 20% discount and free shipping. So it went down to like $9.80. And then there was I told the woman, do you have any coupons? And she gave me another coupon, another 20% coupon that was a 24-hour. It was a 24-hour sale the week before, 4th of July sale. And when I ordered the glasses, okay, and I said, what about that 20%? So that sale is over 1 week ago, but being that we see that you are a repeat customer, they gave me the 20% current discount for more than $100, I think it was. And then they gave me the 20% discount across the board and free shipping. So for 16 pairs of glasses, it was like $110. So if you want to buy, and then they also, these are readers, but if you go on their website, you can slide over somewhere to get glasses made out of glass. I would suggest you do all of that stuff before you come to the Philippines, because you're not going to find an obstetrician, I think they call that. And you're not going to find an eye doctor in the Philippines that's going to do anything but lie to you. I've been in 3 places in Bohol and 2 in Davao. Every one of them are liars. They're thieves. They're criminals. And their custom glasses is not a custom lens. It's not glass. It's plastic. That's a lie. It's custom because it fits into your frames. That's truthful. And then the frames they sell you with it is this piece of garbage frame. A little piece of garbage frame. One of those little metal frames. I threw them all out, but they're garbage. They're those little wire frames. That was what I paid. That's what she wanted, $25 for a little wire frame with plastic lenses. Don't do it. Bring your own. Get your prescription filled in America. Order it online in America. Put it in your suitcase in America and bring it to the Philippines, because you're not going to get a pair of glasses here. And if you want special glasses, like my ex landlord has a pair of glasses that are magnetic, where these two parts come apart, and there's like a magnet here, and you just put them together. So if you want to take them off, you just break the magnet. That's not possible to get in the Philippines. Forget custom frames like that. Forget that. I've seen the magnetic glasses. I wanted a pair, but I went into 25 stores looking for those. Nobody, no one's heard of it, but they'll show you something else that has nothing to do with magnetic glasses. They don't have jack in the Philippines for glasses in Bohol. Bring your own glasses. I don't know what Leucoplast might be glued gauze pad. I don't like that. If that's Michael McFarland uses Leucoplast, there was a kind of a gauze pad that had glue on it. On my foot, it fell off, and I didn't even get out of the hospital when they used that stuff. I had to go into my bag and take out my box tape, this tape here. I had if it's Leucoplast tape, which is the gauze with glue on it, it didn't even make it out of the hospital. I had to go sit down on the chair, and I put this box wrapping tape on my foot. I'm telling you the truth. If that's what you're talking about, to me, on your foot, it's worthless. Maybe on your arm, it might work, but on your foot, it was worthless. Mall optical clinic. All right, look, dude. I don't know who you are. Crypto 88 Cryptico from New York, I think you are. Forget buying glasses in the Philippines. Now, if you think that you know more about it than me, I could wager you so much money, it would bury you in dollar bills, that you can't buy a good pair of glasses in the Philippines. I'll bury you. It's my construction knowledge is nothing compared to my knowledge about glasses. I've been in 25 shops looking for glasses, real glasses. Doesn't matter. I've been in every mall facility in Cebu, in Bohol, in Palawan, in Bacolod. Forget buying glasses in the Philippines. It doesn't matter if it's in a mall. A mall means nothing. A mall means they just charge you 40% more because all the air conditioning that they have to waste to aircon those 15-foot ceilings. Maybe you're not even talking about that. Maybe you're talking about something else. Buying glasses in the Philippines, don't even bother. Don't think about it. Forget that. Forget it. Forget it. Just forget it. Don't do it. Don't think you're going to do it. Don't think you're going to do more research than me. Just don't do it. Yeah, peekaboo. There's nothing like that here. The woman who said that she was an ophthalmologist, she said she was. It says that on her door. She went like this. I put my eye in a machine. I saw this little bubble go like this. And she figured that I had 40 vision in one eye, and she did that. And the whole test took about, I don't know, 45 seconds. And she figured, and she told me that she's going to make a pair of custom glasses for me. And then she gave me plastic lenses. So if you consider that professional, your definition is professional, but it's not going to get it in the Philippines. The store 2 doors down from immigration, don't go in that store either. They're going to do that. They have the same test with the little bubble. It goes like this. And those glasses are 3,600 pesos. And they're plastic lenses too, in a wire frame. If you want a custom frame, you could spend $150, $200 for a nice frame. And it's still a piece of junk that comes from China. Jeez. Glasses in the Philippines are not something that you want to try. Yeah, pads. You know, people think I'm exaggerating. I go when I don't like a price or when I don't like a product, I go look for Daisy. Where's the box under there, honey? Okay, yeah. I'm going to show you. I went to 6 stores to buy this. Uh, I'll give you. Give me the box and slide it. Okay, we've been cooking with a rice cooker, but we've been frying up eggs and garlic and peppers and stuff. About 4 or 5 days ago, it almost took forever to boil water. So the burner is getting weak. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just go get a stove, okay, like an electric burner stove. And then if I need another rice cooker, probably last a few more months, maybe, I don't know. But it almost took forever to boil water to make some hard boiled eggs. I mean, like I'm talking 5 minutes to boil 3/8 of an inch of water. So it's on its way out. It'll probably cook rice, probably take a little bit longer, but that's okay. So I shopped, okay, I shopped for this product. Where's the paperwork in here, honey? Where's the paperwork with the picture of it on there? It's an Asahi, ASASAHI, Asahi. It's a dual burner stove, but it's more than a dual burner stove. Where's the paper, son? Thank you. It's more than a dual burner stove. Okay, I shopped every store in Bohol, every major appliance center in Bohol. Now I'll tell you where they are. Okay, there's one in City Hardware off Airport Road in Tagbilaran City. They didn't have what I wanted. They sent me to the City Hardware by the ICM Mall. Okay, the first City Hardware had an induction. This is not an induction electric stove. This is an electric coil stove. But if you notice the picture, there's 2 coils, not 1. Okay, look at the picture carefully. You'll see 2 coils going down into the where the dial is to turn it on and off. Not 1, but 2. And on the double burner stove, which I bought, both the big and the small burner are both double coils. And that's what I wanted. And I wanted that because it's a double coil. So 1 coil is fed electric to make the heat, and in an inside coil, another coil is fed electric to make the heat. It heats up the product twice as fast. Okay, now by heating up the product twice as fast, you use less electric because 1 coil might take 12 minutes to boil, let's say, an inch of water. It's a calorie thing versus how many watts you use, how many calories of energy you use to boil water. Okay, so let's say a 1 coil will use 1,000 calories to boil 1 inch of water, but 2 coils combined will only use 700 calories because 2 coils are now making the heat faster. So you save 30% on the cost of getting the water to the boiling temperature. Plus, it's faster, so you save time. So, and it's probably 30 or 40% faster. So, what was taking 10 minutes to boil water, 3/8 of an inch of water in the rice cooker for the eggs, takes now 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the water is boiling. Thank you.
$50.
What?
Oh, someone who will Excelsior.
Oh my God. No, all right. Okay. All right. Excelsior. No wonder your name is Excelsior. Thank you. But you know what? For that, we're going to if you don't mind, we'll go to a nice restaurant. there's a nice restaurant that I've been meaning to go to and check out. We'll make a video and we'll put that up for you. Any money from the super chat goes directly to. Let me get to Excelsior in a minute, but thank you. And please, ladies and gentlemen, I don't do this for super chat money. I do this because my foot is injured and I have nothing else that I can do that's constructive. If I go out in the shop and I drop a 16-ounce hammer on my foot, I'm back to where I started, man. It will rip it apart. The new skin is soft, and the skin that's not there yet would be destroyed. Okay, so what I wanted to tell you, digressing back to the stove, this is how many places I had to go to find what I wanted. Now, I know these double burners exist because this is what I always buy when I buy electric. A double burner, not a single burner. You can get these on commercial ovens in America, too. In fact, this is a commercial-grade product. Okay, so now I went to City Hardware on Airport Road, which is just past, that's where my lawyer is. It's 2 blocks from the airport, City Hardware. So they said they had it when I called them up on the phone, but they had an induction oven, which is the flat glass plate. I don't want that. I don't want it. I had one. I don't like it. You can put your hand on it by accident. It looks cold, but it's really red hot. Don't want one, never wanted one, don't like them. Threw out my stove after I got my first good burn. So that City Hardware said they had the double coil stoves. But what they meant is they had double burner induction electric ovens that are called induction ovens, are the ones with the glass plate. So I ended up going there, and I was really upset because now it's 2 hardware stores that communicated with each other and took 20 minutes to get that information back to the first store that called up. The man stood there for 20 minutes to find out if they had double burner stoves, and they said yes, and what they have is double induction stoves. You don't want one of those. They're garbage, okay? There's no way to cool it off. So if you have a glass top stove and you want to cool it off, you can't pour water on it and making a fan pass hot air over it doesn't cool it off so fast. These are garbage, those glass top stoves. And they are twice the price of this coil stove. Okay, so I went to that. And then I went to the ICM Mall, to the kitchen appliance store, looking for a double burner stove like this. And in fact, they had one, okay? But they only had a single. I wanted a double. Single was 2,000. It was 2,500 pesos for this single double burner, the double burner one right here. I can't see if this is a double because my eyes. So 2,500 pesos for this. But they didn't have 2, a big and a small, side by side. So I went to Build-A-Ware. I took the tricycle back to Build-A-Ware, and I went to Build-A-Ware. They didn't have one either. Then I went to the next place I went to was the Alturas Mall. They didn't have them there at all. They had induction only. At Build-A-Ware, oh, that was a mess. I got upset there. I said, do you have electric stoves? The man says, yes. So now I had to walk up 27 steps to the next floor. I get up to the next floor. I said, where are your electric stoves? No, sir, we don't carry stoves. The man down there just said, you have stoves up here. The guy was laughing. He knew that he sent me up there for no reason. Well, that conversation I can't put on YouTube. But believe me when I tell you what I told them and the man downstairs, where he could hear it and everybody else in the store could hear it. I said, this isn't funny. I'm injured. I'm having trouble walking. I'm carrying a heavy backpack and a bag. I don't need to do this. This is ridiculous. You people are a bunch of liars. You're incompetent. Why do you even have jobs? If you work for me, I'd fire you. And it went downhill from there. So at Build-A-Ware is the garbage place of the Philippines to buy stuff at. Their prices are 20-25% higher. They have a zero warranty policy, 7 days, and if it's more than 7 days, you can take it, stick it into your rectum. They're not going to replace anything. Build-A-Wear is a useless facility in Bohol. They have a lot of stuff, but it's actually quite garbage when it comes down to the price you pay. And then they have a 1,000 peso service fee for delivery. Even if you buy you say you buy $1,000 worth of goods, they still charge you an extra 1,000 pesos or 20 bucks for the delivery. There's no free delivery. I said, when do I get a free delivery if I order materials for the hotel? He told me when you order $6,000 or 300,000 pesos worth of goods, you get a free $20 delivery. I said, you know what? I'm never going to buy anything in your store again. And yesterday was the first time I was in their store in almost 6 months. I had to buy turpentine. They sell turpentine. No one else sells turpentine. So I bought turpentine there. But Build-A-Wear is the garbage. Build-A-Wear is where they will give you the Vaseline before they bend you over, but you're not going to like the end result. Okay, this isn't Build-A-Wear is the highest price for the worst service and the worst guarantees at all, period, possible. City Hardware will take stuff back a month later if you didn't use it. Build-A-Wear, 7 days, you might as well, you can throw it out if you don't need it because they're not giving you back a penny. All right, so Build-A-Wear doesn't have the stove, but BQ Mall did. So the single burner stove that I found in ICM Mall was 2,500, a little more, 2,500 is 50 bucks. It's going to say $50. In BQ Mall, the single burner stove was 2,200 pesos. So it's $6 less. Not much. Double burner stove that they didn't have in ICM, they did have in the BQ Mall, and that price was 4,500 pesos, under 4,500 pesos. So for the 2-burner stove, it was 4,500 pesos or $90. And with the electric that I have to the rice cooker, it works just fine. We've cooked on it now 3 times since yesterday afternoon, and we're very happy. So once again, this is the total wattage on this stove is 2.9 watts, 230 volts, 2.9 watts. But I think that there was something that said it uses 1,600 watts of power. I don't remember where I saw that, but that's what if you're going to buy an electric stove, don't buy a gas stove. Now I'll give you the difference between gas and electric. If you're going to cook outside, gas is the way to go if you buy a big tank. Buy the small tank, you have to replace them like the barbecues in America, but a small tank will last you 1 or 2 months. Okay, I don't like gas in the house. I was a general contractor. I would tell people, I will bring the pipe. I will have my plumber bring the pipe in the plans to your wall. I will not hook the pipe up to the stove. I don't care. I wouldn't do it. I could do it. I know how to do it. I had the license to have somebody come in and do it, but I would not. I would have them hire their own plumber. It could be the same plumber. I don't like gas in the house. And a good double burner stove for gas is only like 1,500 pesos. So it's a third the price for same quality stove, but gas burner instead of electric. But I don't like gas in the house. Now, I'm going to address Mr. Xxxxxx. Xxxxxx. That's the name of my favorite starship in Star Trek, The Next Generation, I think, the Excelsior. Really cool ship. But thank you. Okay, so now, Daisy and I, you asked us to enjoy a night out. And if you're interested in Obama videos that you can't get, I have a list of for the people that have been donating money in the super chat. I have a list that I can send to your email address of it's 100 pages long, and some pages have 1 video description and link, and some have 2 or 3. Daisy made this document about 5 days ago for a gentleman named Danny Gordon, okay, because he's given super chat for no reason other than the fact that he likes that I'm honest. But I made this list specifically for him. But if you would like a list of Obama and my comedy videos of several dozen videos, I'd be happy to send that to you. The way you could give me your email address, if you would please, is to go to my YouTube channel, Hoodwinked by an Angel, homepage. At the top, you're going to see different tabs. You go to the tab that says About, A-B-O-U-T, About. Click that tab. Click the About tab. Scroll down the page to Michael Fazio Facebook and leave a message in my Facebook, in the messages, with your email, and I'll get that list out to you, and that'll happen today if you can get that message to me and you want those videos, the Obama videos. There's a couple hundred, I guess. And we would have made an entire list, but we couldn't. Patreon keeps refreshing itself, or we have a blackout, or the computer at Patreon just doesn't let you go down more than 100, well, actually, when you scroll down, it says load more. It won't let you go down past 40 load mores. And each load more is about, well, it depends on your description, but each load more can have from 3 to 10 videos in a load more. So I don't know how many videos they are, but there's a lot. So please feel free to avail yourself of these videos. If you like politically incorrect videos of Mr. Obama, you're going to get politically incorrect videos of Mr. Obama. More than that, I can't say. And thank you again. And actually, I'm going to go to a hotel that is a well-known hotel. I asked them to see I wanted a hamburger. You can't get a good hamburger in the Philippines. I figured a good hotel. And if that doesn't work, we're going to take a ride to another hotel not so far away in Alona Beach. They, I was told, make a good hamburger and a good French fries. But the first hotel, I'm going to tell you the price of a hamburger in the Philippines. While we're talking about prices, there is no place to buy a $5 hamburger. That's just not possible. Okay. There's a place, I'm not going to name the restaurant. There's a place near me that charges $8 for a hamburger, 385 pesos with French fries. You couldn't fill up the bottom of this cup under my fingers with the French fries they put on the plate. And they're soggy. Even you tell them well done. But the hamburger patty is 100% breadcrumbs, eggs, and fillers. There's no meat. There's no... Daisy, did you see any blood come out of that hamburger? When we had the hamburger, was there any? No. What?
No, there's no blood.
There's no blood. I tell them rare. First of all, I told them rare. It looked like it looked like cardboard. It looked like cardboard. It had no flavor. That was $6. So then I said to the owner, well, we got into a little bit of a tiff over whether it was meat or not, and he told me I don't understand how to make a hamburger. And I worked for Lenny's Pizzeria at nights for years. I know how to make a hamburger. I might make some of the best hamburgers that anybody ever ate. I put garlic, I put mint. I have a knack for hamburgers. You can't buy a good hamburger. You got to make one. So we couldn't make one until we got this stove. So, but actually, we might go to that restaurant. So thank you for that gift. And we will make a video with your name and show you how the money was spent. And it will be spent wisely. We're not going to go extravagant. We won't drink alcohol. But thank you very much for that wonderful gift. Daisy?
Yeah, thank you very much. Excelsior.
That's the gentleman right there.
Yeah, Excelsior.
Yeah. So say it in your language. Maybe he would like to enjoy it.
Salamat kaayong dako, Excelsior sa imong kwarta na gihatag.
And what does that mean?
Thank you very much, Excelsior, the money that you gave.
Okay. And Excelsior said, you are welcome. So thank you thank you. Okay. Now, I would ask anybody else out there that is thinking about sending Super Chat, I would ask you not to do that. This is not what this channel or this dissertation is about. What I really want to do is share my knowledge of the Philippines. I'm asking you don't send any more Super Chat, okay? This is not about that. This is about you finding out information that will help you in the Philippines. If you want to become a member of my Patreon community and you have other questions about the Philippines and medical, something that you want to come and I can help you out, like if I need to research something for you as a member of Patreon or somebody like the gentleman Excelsior, I'd be happy to do that. But if you just in the chat window and you're not a regular subscriber or a regular listener, to me, to spend 1 or 2 hours to research using the phone and whatever means I deem necessary to find out that information. I can't help everybody, but here, with information that you guys need to know before you come to the Philippines, it's an open venue today. You get to ask a question about anything you want, and I'll address it if I can, and that includes construction, costs, labor costs, food costs. We have, Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Yeah, give me a plate, honey. You want to know about microwaves in the Philippines? You already know my microwave oven lasted.
Plate?
Yeah, any plate. One of the new plates. Yeah. Okay. My microwave oven lasted a few months, and they gave me a great deal. They only charged me 900 pesos to replace a part that wasn't under warranty. It was a few months old, the machine, but it was a few months old because it was in a box in a container. I didn't use it, but once I used it, I took it out of the box new, and it was the 90-day warranty was out. But here, you see this dinner plate? Okay. Somehow or another, they call this a 9-inch dinner plate. That might be. It's a 9-inch dinner plate. Okay. 9 inches. This is plastic. We paid 20 pesos a piece for these plates because if you put them in the microwave and you forget them, they blow up. So there's no sense in buying a $1 or $2 plastic plate because they all blow up if you leave them in the microwave too long. So yesterday, I was in the shop looking for the 2-burner stove. I was in ICM Mall in the kitchen and appliances and kitchenwares, and I looked at this 9-inch plate. I said, "Do you have?" Now this 9-inch plate in the mall was 150 pesos for one plate, $3. Okay, I don't know what kind of plastic it was, but it was not microwave safe, and it didn't say microwave safe on the box. So not only is it not microwave safe, but it doesn't say not microwave safe. It just tells you it's $3, which is sickening because it doesn't say microwave safe or not microwave safe. So I said to the man, I knew it wasn't because it's plastic. Where are the plates that are not going to blow up when you put them in the microwave? Where are the microwave safe plates? So he walks me over about 20 feet away, and he shows me a ceramic plate, 9-inch ceramic plate. It's a plain, no design, which I would prefer, no color in the thing, just a white plate. You want to talk about rape in the Philippines? Let's talk about rape in the Philippines. Let's talk about bending you over and sliding the DOD in there dry. And I could even go one step further. They put it in butt end first for the cost of a dinner plate. A 9-inch plain white ceramic dinner plate. You get your guests ready in your head, and then I'm going to tell you The plate was 600 pesos, which is, do you know how much 600 pesos is? That's each 50 pesos is a dollar. Okay, so you have 600 pesos. It's $12. $12 for a 9-inch round, flat, no design plate. A 14-inch oval plate like this, a 14-inch oval ceramic plate. That's they call it ceramics. It is ceramic. It's plate. A 14-inch oval plate in the ICM mall was 1,000 pesos. White, no design, no trim. That's $20 for a ceramic plate. I threw out a ton of ceramic plates or more in my life. If you're going to come to the Philippines, you cannot buy microwavable Tupperware anywhere. You cannot buy microwavable plastic plates anywhere. They don't exist. So right away, you go to a 12-inch, 9-inch ceramic, a 12, you go to a 9-inch ceramic plate for $12, or a 14-inch oval plate for like a turkey platter or something for $20 for a ceramic plate. This stuff, we throw this stuff out when it gets colored. I threw out 250 of these plates from my house in America. I threw out thousands, tens of thousands of ceramic plates because they're heavy, because they have new microwave. No, they don't have any of that in the field. No microwave Tupperware, no microwave plates, ceramic only, and a 6-inch bowl is not $12. It's $9 for a 6-inch soup bowl, 3 inches deep. $9 for a ceramic soup bowl. $9. Give me that soup bowl we have. $9 for a soup bowl smaller than this. Yeah, but one soup bowl, please. The bowl that we put the squid in the other night. Is it open? It's in the refrigerator, yeah? On the right-hand side. Yeah, that's it. I'll show you what a $9 ceramic plate. This big. It's like 6.5 inches, and it's this deep. White ceramic, that's $9. This is $12 for a 9-inch plate, and for a 14-inch oval to put a turkey or a chicken or a ham or something on is $20 for a ceramic plate. It costs pennies to make this stuff. Plus, the stuff comes from China. I bet you it doesn't cost them 30 pesos to put this plate on the shelf, and it's $12. Okay. It's beyond the ripoff. It's beyond thievery. It's beyond insanity. It's China. You know why they call it China? Because it's made in China. You know where I live? Next to China. You know where it comes from? China. It says China on the back. It says made in China, made in China. Imagine that. Right down the block from the Philippines. You can buy China in America for a 14-inch plate, and a commercial restaurant supply heavy duty for about $4 for a 9-inch plate. Not $9. Maybe I don't even think they're $4. Last time I bought them, when I set up a restaurant, when I built a kitchen in a restaurant, something like that, and I had to buy plates for whatever reason, they were like $2. That was 20 years ago. How much could they be now? But not $9 for a 9-inch plate. You bring your own plates. I keep telling people, if you want something that you have in America and you want it in the Philippines, you need to bring it to the Philippines. You people need to understand you can't buy anything in the Philippines of any quality. There is no microwavable Tupperware. There's nothing that is microwavable Tupperware. I can't find it. I haven't been able to find it, and I looked for it. So what you have to do is pay attention when you put these plates in the microwave, and don't make it too hot. You have to fill the whole bottom of the plate. What a pain in the neck. I'm not spending $9 for a plate. I have 200 plates in a box in America. I have $10,000 worth of depression glass in America. I won't even sell the depression glass because the depression glass that was made in the 1910s or 20s, some of my depression were during 20s. Okay, I have dinner plates in America that are 10 inches and 9 inches, and there's 11 inches. Okay, most of them are 10 inches. You can only sell those things for about $3. But here, you can use them in the microwave. Here, that thing would be worth, if you're paying $9 for this piece of plastic, and I got a piece of depression glass that's 100 years old that I can only sell for $3, I'll bring that stuff to the Philippines and use it for my day wear. You guys need to understand, you can't buy anything of any quality, and nothing. I went to let me read the comments. I don't miss Brooklyn at all. I actually grew up in Queens, but I lived in Brooklyn. No, I don't miss Brooklyn. How can you ask me a question like that? How can you ask me a question like that? I'm looking at a white sand beach right now. I'm looking at the white sand beach. I'm looking at white sand. I'm looking at, well, through the little part of, I'm looking at 3 dive boats. I'm looking at 100 tanks. I'm looking at 5 trucks full of divers. Right now, that's what I'm looking at. Where can you see that in Brooklyn? And I see this every day. Not only do I see it every day, I see it for 14 hours a day. Divers coming and going in clean ocean water on a white sand beach. Why would I miss Brooklyn? And if I did miss Brooklyn, I would have to be missing Brooklyn from the 1980s, and that's gone. By the way, the 1980s are over. I'm not young, and I can't possibly service all the people I used to service when I was young. Okay, so being I used to go to 10 or 12 bars a week. I'm not much of a dancer, but there was, like, with my friends, you can't do that now. Who can afford that? We did that on making $300 to $500 a week. You want to go to 10 or 12 bars and have a drink in each bar now? It got to cost you $1,000 in a night. Between understanding that if you went to 4 places in Manhattan, it's going to cost you $20 a pop to park your car someplace safe. You got $100 in parking for the first hour, and then you're spending $12 a drink. You have 2 drinks, another $25. You go to 4 places, that's $300 at the end of the night between gas, tolls, and drinks. Well, what is there to miss about Brooklyn? It's a good question. If I could be 25 again, living in the 80s in Brooklyn, yeah, I'd miss Brooklyn, but I can't be 25 again living in the 80s in Brooklyn. And I can't tell you those stories. But you wouldn't believe the stories anyway, so why would you? Anybody here from Brooklyn? Is there anybody here from Brooklyn? Anybody from Brooklyn? From Brooklyn, from the that's around 60 years old. You tell me, I will tell you the name of a guy named Paco, but not the Paco that worked for me, and I'll find out if you're from Brooklyn. I'll say the name Paco, who was the most famous Paco in the 1970s and early 80s, late 70s and 80s, and I'll tell you a story about Paco. Okay, you might not believe it, but it doesn't make a difference. It's a true story. So if you are really from Brooklyn and really my age, and you can't tell me who Paco is, you're not really from Brooklyn, and you're not really my age. But I'll tell you the story if you can tell me who Paco is and where he worked. Gary is leaving. Time for bed. And so, okay, Gary Bonoya. Okay, I'm Ping Permy, Gary. Thank you very much for everything that you've done for us. We appreciate it. And good night. Welcome from Excelsior. Thank you. Is the DOD microwave safe? You don't want to be anywhere near the DOD in the working mode. No, so not so peekaboo. All right, 88 Critica. Well, you're moving to a place called Laguna. I don't know why, but that's the place of your mother, and you want to live there. Knock yourself out. Laguna is not where I would ever live. I researched it. I met people from Laguna online. It's it's a big city that has a big freshwater puddle next to it. Not the kind of place I'd want to live. It's inland too, by the way. It's inland, 200 kilometers from the ocean, maybe something like that. It's a big industrial. You're in and of itself, Laguna. When I researched it 5 years ago, was not an industrial city, but it's surrounded by industry. Pollution is rampant there. You should give that some serious thought. If you want to become a member of my Patreon community, I'll show you where to live in Bohol. You'd be a lot happier in Bohol than Laguna. I don't care that your mother lived there. I don't care that your mother was born there. I don't care that your mother's family is there. I don't care if your cousins are there. I don't care if your relatives are there. You're not going to like it there. And if you do like it there, well, and that there's something mentally disturbing about the way you think, because to live in Laguna just so that you could be near your relatives is not my idea of retirement. Okay, you want to retire, you want to relax, you want to enjoy your life. There's nothing to do in Laguna. There's not a darn thing to do in Laguna. There are restaurants. That's it. You can get your watch fixed. Who wears a watch? You can buy a cell phone on every corner. So what? You could do a lot of stuff in Laguna, but none of it's important. If you want quality of life, which for me is to take a walk in the mountains, or to take a walk near a stream, or to take a walk near the ocean, or to go on a white sand beach, none of that stuff's going to happen in Laguna. I don't mean to put Laguna down, but if you're talking about retirement and enjoying your life, how would you enjoy a big city? You already come from a big city. You really like that big city, that life that much? I don't see any. I lived in the big city and I had money and I didn't see anything. I don't see a darn thing that I'd want to go backwards in time to redress. A bed and breakfast? Where are you talking about a bed and breakfast? In Laguna? You're going to end up having prostitutes and Johns in your bed and breakfast. Nobody goes to Laguna for vacation, buddy. You need to understand that. They go to Laguna to meet the girls that live in Laguna. There's thousands of girls on the internet from Laguna. That's what they go to Laguna for. Bed and breakfast. If you want to deal with prostitutes and Johns, then that's the place to go. Okay, you're welcome for your opinion, dude. Just get out of Google Map. Just put. Here's what you put in the title. I got a map up on top right now. I'm gonna put it into my search engine. I have the Google map up on top. Laguna, 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 Philippines. Laguna, Philippines map. Okay, put it in Google. I know people say, Google makes enough money. Yeah, well, Google provides you with a product that you can't get off most of the other sites, or I wouldn't bother trying. So let's Google Laguna map. Okay, so okay, I'm wrong about how far you, well, I'm not wrong about how far you are away, because when you expand the map, okay, where is Laguna? All right. I can't. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you the link. I'll put it in the. I don't see it. Why am I not seeing it? Okay. Small, small. I'm going to give you the link to the map. You can Google Laguna right now. You can put this link in if it fits, if it works. But what I have on the, yeah, it won't go. It won't let me post the link. It's too long. It's too complex. It's too something. It's too long. It's like 200 characters. So just Google Laguna, Philippines map, and look where you are. From the far side of the puddle, the freshwater puddle, which is polluted, by the way, from the far side of that, or from the middle, let's say, you're 125 kilometers to the ocean. It's 125, but it's not just 125 kilometers. You have to go through the city of Manila to get to the ocean, and that's a giant, filthy slum that you got to go through to get to a giant, filthy slum, brown sand and rock beach. Now, if you go the other way to the far side of the island, you're in the province for 100 kilometers. You really need to do some research before you move to Laguna, dude. What I would do is tell your wife that you'll buy her a Laguna. Don't you're not gonna be happy in Laguna. Tell your wife you'll buy her a nippa hut next to a family in Laguna, and you live someplace else. She can come and visit you. She might be used to that kind of lifestyle. Okay, so I'm not gonna knock Laguna anymore, but be the last place in the Philippines. Manila, Laguna, Cebu. It's all a big, giant, filthy air, filthy streets, filthy people, giant slum. That's part of it. All right. Pads is moving to Mindanao on the beach. Well, yeah, buy your wife an AK-47 and a nice 45, or buy your wife a whole bunch of toys that she could play with, and she's allowed to carry guns, and you're allowed to use them if you're with her. I think. Got to find out the law, but moving to Mindanao by Dipolog City. Have you done any research about Dipolog City? Pads, Daisy. Dipolog has problems, yeah?
Where?
Dipolog City?
Polog?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Muslim over there.
Besides the Muslims, yeah, you need to redress your thoughts on that, dude. I'm not going to get involved with. There are other problems with Dipolog City. There are lots of problems with Dipolog City. More problems than you're going to want. Unless you can speak the language and say I am Filipino, you better not move to Dipolog City. I'll leave it at that. Would you want to live there, Daisy?
No.
Daisy wouldn't live there. And she's Filipino. Okay, thanks for that. Can I have more cold water? Yeah, cool down. Man, you guys I don't know what you guys are thinking, man. I don't know why you're thinking this anyway. When I picked Daisy out of the 3,000 plus people I interviewed to meet and to date, I picked Daisy for like 6 or 7 reasons. First reason is she never asked me for money. Second reason is she always showed up on time for our conversations. The third reason is she never asked me for money. The fourth reason is she was always clean and neat, and you always saw her working in the house as she was maid, childcare, healthcare, house care. That's the fourth reason. The fifth reason is she never asked me for money. The sixth reason is because she lived on a different island than where I live. Our family was over there, and I'm over here. And I picked her for the seventh reason is because she never asked me for money. And the eighth reason I picked her is because she was willing to move to my island after I met her for a week or so in Davao. And then the ninth reason that I picked Daisy is because she never asked me for money and she never asked me for a phone or a load or anything like that. And the 10th reason I picked out for Daisy is because she could not speak English, but she could text English back and forth and we could at least communicate. And she never told me a lie. And the 11th reason I picked Daisy is because she never asked me for money and she never lied. And we had some form of communication. Verbally, basically, that went out the window when we met. She knew what she wanted to say, but she couldn't say it in English. Now she can communicate in English. And the 12th reason I picked Daisy is because she never asked me for money. Are you starting to see a storyline here happening? Laguna, Dipolo, go online, go on the dating sites and see where the majority of the girls on the dating sites are from. Manila, Culacan, Manila, Laguna, Manila, Culacan, Zamboanga, Dipolog. Dude, man, you're not going to like it there. You're not going to like it there. Not a good place for the white man to be. Okay? Just not a good place. Knock yourself out. I hope I don't have to read about you in the paper. Not a good place for white men to be. Okay, what more? Do I really need to get into detail? Become a member of my Patreon account. I'll discuss it with you. In public, I will not. Okay. Jeez. We won't be hearing much from you after that move to Dipolo. I'll tell you, I don't care where you live either. You're not going to live in a nipper hut in the middle of a province and never leave the province or the nipper hut. That is just a bad idea, dude. I don't get. Oh, on a beach, you're going to live on a beach. Oh, nice rural beach. Yeah, that's just going to work out wonderful for you. That ain't going to work for you, dude. You need to be someplace else. All right. The reliability cost of internet is the next topic. Internet in the Philippines sucks right across the board. The name of the internet that we use is Globe, Globe. The price is $30 a month. It's going to just say it's 1,100 pesos a month with a phone. So that the price is good, but I use up my internet right within the first 2 weeks. I use up my data stream, so I have to pay an extra 300 pesos a month for the extra data. So I'm paying $30 a month for internet, and the internet itself is just fine. It's not the internet that's really the problem. It's not fast, but it's fast enough. The problem is we have so many blackouts. So between the internet never really shuts off. Now, if you are trying to use Wi-Fi, the modem Wi-Fi transmitter that they give you sucks. You could buy a better one, but you got to spend 5,000 pesos. Okay, so if you want Wi-Fi and you're 18 inches away from Wi-Fi with your cell phone, and like here is the cell phone, and the Wi-Fi is within 3 feet of the cell phone, it works just fine. But go 5 feet away and you start to lose the ability to grab the signal. And at 10 feet, the signal is non-existent from the modem they give you with the Globe. Now, I don't have Wi-Fi in my computer, so there's no booster in the computer. I can't connect to the computer. I have to connect to their modem. So that sucks. That's a piece of garbage. So if you want to get that, you can get a better modem with a better Wi-Fi transmitter. That's no problem, but it's about $100. And I don't need it because I don't use it. So I use Globe. It costs me $30 a month. The reliability of the internet is okay. I have hard wire. It took 3 years of requesting the hard wire to come to my house. And after 3 years, they told me, we're not going to have the wire to your house for another maybe 2 years or so, because they're going to change some kind of cable, whatever. So I said, well, the hotel next door has, yes, they have the wire, but that was a special plan we had 3 years ago, experimental. So I said, well, how would I get that experimental wire to my house? And he said, he sent me to another Globe store, which is an associate, an affiliate, that for a certain, if you know how to talk to them in their language, they will run the wire down the block and make it 100% legal. Okay, they'll make it so it looks good on paper. And that's what I did. I went and learned how to speak Visaya, and I got the wire. But you can't get the wire. If you lived on this block, they wouldn't do that for you. Well, I mean, they might, but probably I don't think they would do it anymore. So now there's 2 internet wires. They won't run the wire more than 700 feet from the main trunk line on the pole, and I'm 1,500 feet away. So you can get the wire run the first 700 feet, but you can't get it run the other 800 feet. Well, they just won't do it. They don't do it. They say there's too much of a signal drop. That's nonsense. Wire is wire. But unless you were talking thousands of feet, you wouldn't have a signal drop. So it's $30. The signal is great, but the blackouts that we get, as many as, you get 12 blackouts in a day. You can get more. You can get a blackout, the power goes on, you reboost, set up everything in your computer, set it all up, open up your programs again, you get another blackout. You're setting it up again, it goes on, 5 minutes, blackout. Goes on, hour, blackout. Saturday morning, if it goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning, you're not getting, they don't tell you in advance, the power, the electric company, they don't tell you in advance. They don't tell you in advance there's going to be a blackout. They don't tell you in advance there's going to be a blackout. They used to come down the block with a truck twice a week before the blackout, say Saturday we're having a blackout. Now, the only way that you know there's going to be a blackout is Saturday morning at 5 minutes after 5, the electric is off. That means there's going to stay off till 6 o'clock at night. What they do when the electric is off is they have, on the island of Leyte, which is where we get our electric from, which is 200 miles from here, they have under the ocean cables and the power lines under the ocean, underwater cables. They shut off the coal generating plant, coal electric, powered by coal. They shut off at 5 o'clock in the morning. They clean whatever they have to clean, the coal tar off whatever they have to do. They scrub down the vents that suck up the hot water, that make the steam, that make the plant run. Whatever they do, it takes them 12 or 13 hours. Sometimes it takes them till 10 or 11 or midnight at night, and that's because they might have to do some welding or fix something. I don't know. I don't know much about it. And if you went to the electrical company and asked them, they would tell you they don't know either. They know. They're just not going to spend 2 minutes explaining it to you. I just gave you more of an explanation as to why there are blackouts and how it happens and why than the electric company has ever given me in 5 years. But you can have one blackout every 3 days, or you can have 35 blackouts a week. Nope. There's no rhyme or reason. There's nothing that, and the blackouts could last 10 seconds or 10 minutes or 10 hours, and there's no notice or bulletins on the internet that, Philippines Electric Authority is going to shut your electric off at 5 o'clock Saturday morning. Don't look for it. It's not that. Okay, so internet. Danny Gordon says, hello, Mike. Hello, Danny. Danny, did you enjoy those? Did you take a look through the list of videos that I sent you? And you want to tell everybody whether or not you thought it was interesting? Okay. Nico, thank you, sir. You're welcome. Lefty all around. Research is very important before you go to a foreign country. That's correct. Pads. I will not be in that city, 2-hour drive there at a fishing village. Pads has his heart set on Dipolo. Okay, I thank you, Dipolo. Lefty all around. Cebu City, it's a giant slump. But if you want to go pick up girls, there you go. But it's a giant slum. But if you want to go pick up girls, there you go. But it's a giant slum. If you think that picking up young girls is a hobby or fun or even entertainment, something wrong with you in your head. I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying Cebu City is a giant slum. You walk, I live 2 blocks from the Ayala Mall. You walk around visiting local stores to the Ayala Mall, back to the hotel, back to the gym, back to the Ayala Mall, back out for a restaurant, back to the hotel. You walk outside for 2 hours in the Ayala area, and your nose is going to start, blood is going to come out of your nose after about 2 weeks. Blood. Your nose is going to start to bleed. What's it from? From the chemicals from the car pollution, asbestos dust from the brakes. If a car is burning 2 quarts of oil an hour in the Philippines and blowing out black smoke that causes a fog that you can't see through a feet, not a problem here, dude. Not a problem. The only problem is it's your problem. Nobody cares. Police are not going to give you a ticket. They're not even going to pull you over and tell you to get your engine fixed. They don't care. There are no pollution checks in the city of Cebu. After 2 weeks, my nose was bleeding. Bleeding. Blood came out of my nose. You breathe hard and blood would just pour out of your nose from a chemical reaction to the air around you. Did Daisy not having any children play into the situation? Being that this is an open venue for any questions, I wouldn't date a Filipina with children unless there was something more fascinating about that woman that I could comprehend. There is nothing fascinating to me about a woman with children. Nothing at all. There's nothing interesting about a woman with children. To me, Daisy, make sure that. Hold on. I need to shut the door. Hold on. Daisy, are you coming back in? Okay, well, shut the door when you come in, please. There is nothing interesting about having a woman with children. You come to the Philippines and you meet a woman with children, and that means anything you want to teach her, like scuba diving or swimming or snorkeling, involves a third or a fourth or a third, or fourth, or fifth person. Okay, so right away, your expenses double, triple, no, double with the woman, but triple and quadruple with children. Now, you want to go travel around the Philippines with the woman, you have a child that's in school, you can't do that. Okay, I find nothing beneficial about having a woman with the children. Even if the woman was rich and said, I'm going to pay all your bills, I don't want a woman with children. I'll have my own children because I already lived with women who had children, and it just doesn't work. If you think it's hard to make Filipinos understand instructions, try teaching somebody else's children to go clean their room. They don't want to hear it. You're not their father, and they tell you, you're not my father. I don't have to listen to you. Where do they get that from? They get that from the mother, usually. When the mother disagrees with them, they say, just tell him he's not your father. That he doesn't have to listen to you. Okay? Just go. You want to have a woman. If Daisy had children, if I was with Daisy for a year and she told me she'd have children, I just okay, let's get your stuff packed. You're going home. Give us some money and goodbye. It would be that simple. It wouldn't be complicated. It's not complicated for me. I specifically said in my profile, no children, period. None. That means not living with your mother. That means not living with your ex-boyfriend. That means no children. You want to have children, and you have immediately 30%, 40% more costs involved with having children, and you want to spend that money. If you have 3 children, you're going to have your costs are going to quadruple. If they're in school, You have to buy them computers. Now, your life is about teaching somebody else's children that don't want to listen to you when it's not convenient for them to listen to you. That's a bad attitude, but that's been my experience. So did Daisy not having children? That was a major factor. The answer to the question is yes. Cebu City, I just told you, is a giant slum. Gary Edward, I don't know what that has to do with anything that I'm talking about. Lefty all around. Lapu Lapu. Go ahead, Lefty all around. Get your little butt over to Lapu Lapu and take a walk around at night. First of all, there's nothing there. Nothing but street prostitutes, drugs, alcohol addiction, and poverty. Beyond your comprehension. For Lapu Lapu, I stayed at a $100 a night hotel, most expensive hotel on the island, the Costa Bella Hotel. The Costa Bella Hotel had 14-foot high concrete walls with broken glass bottles on top of it. Couldn't go out I was going to go out at night. The guard said, "No, sir, not allowed." I can't walk out. Yes, sir, you can walk around, but not safe. White man, not safe. I'm paying $100 a night for a hotel. The guard tells me I can't go down the block to take a look around at night. In the daytime, you could walk around. Go ahead, Lefty. You go to Lapu Lapu.
Wait, I take a look at the water.
Okay, honey. Did you empty it out first? Daisy.
Bertie, I cleaned that mess the other night.
Yeah, but it rained yesterday, yeah? Well, don't dump it now. Just don't fill it up anymore, and we'll dump that out, okay? Okay. When it rains in our water barrel that we bathe in. And the dust from the leaves from the tree above us don't bother me so much, but sometimes the mosquitoes, you'll look, there'll be mosquito larvae in there, which is okay. You wash off with mosquito larvae, and then you get a bucket of clean water from the tap. But it looks clean, but the mosquito larvae washes into the bucket, and then you see them a few days later. I'm not real crazy about rinsing myself off with mosquito larvae. It doesn't bother me that much. Moving to the Philippines, you need to get used to the province. You need to get used to a lot of things. Lapu Lapu, not allowed to walk around at night. Maybe it's changed now, but there are expensive hotels and there are adjoining slums. And there are adjoining slums to the adjoining slums where everybody is poor. There's no such thing as a middle class in Lapu Lapu that I saw at the time. It might be one nice house and then it's an adjoining slum. Now, I didn't experience all of Lapu Lapu, just the main road. That was enough for me to say, I don't want to live in Lapu Lapu. Plus, the white sand beach in Lapu Lapu has been condemned 100 times for septic water, fecal tissue in the ocean water. It's been condemned since 2010. It hasn't passed an inspection for fecal matter in the water on the white sand beach in Lapu Lapu since 2010. So look up fecal studies, Lapu Lapu, white sand beach, something like that. You won't see it's ever passed an inspection for sanitary codes. So Lapu Lapu is a giant slum. And get back to that. Danny Gordon says, thank you for the list of videos. Everything is very interesting. Sorry, Danny, we couldn't go past whatever page we got to. It kept refreshing the page, and I don't know why. But I'm glad that you enjoyed what you could. Lefty all around. Thanks for your... Lapu Lapu is a giant slum. I'm not lying to you about this. I've been everywhere, anywhere within 100 miles radius of here. Okay? There are places 100 times nicer at 1/10 the price. Why would you live in... Now, again, Lapu Lapu is one of the primary places where the girls on the internet go. And why do the girls on the internet go primarily from... It's a poor community. The girls the girl Mila, who I moved to the Philippines to meet, came from Lapu-Lapu. We talked for a solid 6 months every day, 3 times a week, every week for 6 months. And when I gave her a couple thousand pesos so she could buy a dress and a pair of shoes because she was poor, and she took that. You know what she did with the money? Milo. I have the video. She took that money and went to a wedding in Bohol. I think it was Bohol, and I was living in Cebu. I moved to Cebu to be with Milo. I moved to Cebu, and she went to a wedding in Bohol. No, Dumaguete. That's her, Dumaguete. She took the 2,000 pesos I gave her and went to a wedding. And then she didn't tell me she was going to the wedding, didn't leave me a note she was going to the wedding. Left 3 days before I arrived at the hotel, because I left on the 8th of December. I mean, yeah, I left on December 8th, and I didn't get there till the 12th because of delays till late in the 11th. She left on the 7th, didn't send me an email or note or a message on my computer. She just didn't show up at the airport. She was from Lapu-Lapu, another snake charmer on the internet service. I didn't meet her at the hotel. She had the personality of a dirty dish rag. She wasn't dirty, but she had the personality of a dirty dish rag. Would you make love to a dirty dish rag? No. Would you date a dirty dish rag? No. She had the personality of a dirty dish rag. She was not able to speak English. She wouldn't go on video camera. She wouldn't talk. The only way you could communicate, I'm sitting down having breakfast with her, she's texting me. Okay? Poor girl from Lapu-Lapu. Didn't ask me for the 2,000 pesos, but I said, buy a dress, buy something nice for yourself, and meet me at the airport so you have transportation money. And she went to Dumaguete, didn't even tell me. I was in the Philippines for 10 days before she answered one of my emails, told me, oh, she's in Dumaguete. I said, you're supposed to meet me at the airport. That's what I gave you. Yes, that's right. But I went to my cousin's wedding. But you didn't tell me. No, I did not tell you. If you care for me, you will understand. This is the mentality of the average Filipino woman. They just think they can do whatever they want, and you'll understand. 6 months, I talked to this woman 3 times a week. 6 months, 2 or 3 times a week. 6 months, she never missed a place to tell me. She never missed the time slot to come online. Yeah, a couple of times. But I mean, in 6 months, relatively speaking, then I'm going to come to the airport and she takes the money and goes to Dumaguete to a wedding for her cousin. This is the kind of garbage that you meet in the Philippines. Lapu-Lapu garbage. Lapu-Lapu slum stuff. I don't know. The other 3 girls I met from Lapu-Lapu, the cab fare to Ayala from Lapu-Lapu should have been 90 pesos. That's what it is. 125 pesos. They would ask me for 500 pesos each way. I know it's 125, but they tell me 500 pesos in case there's traffic. So they're collecting 4 times the cab fare, and they're taking a jeepney for 50 pesos. They're taking 3 jeepneys or 4 jeepneys for 60 pesos. Takes almost the same amount of time. Get on a jeepney, you're in at the Ayala Mall from Lapu-Lapu in an hour and 15 minutes. Cab takes 20, 25 minutes. They make 500 pesos they get from you. There, 500 pesos back. They take a jeepney. They made 800 pesos, or they made the equivalent of 4 days' pay just in transportation costs. Forget about if you buy them food and you buy them some food for their family. So here, they're all the same. Lapu-Lapu slum, Lapu-Lapu slime, Lapu-Lapu liars, Lapu-Lapu low class. Everything about Lapu-Lapu that I experienced was low class. But on paper, when you look it up, it looks like a luxury resort. And it is. If you have 5,000 pesos a night, you can stay on one of their pretty fake white sand beaches. The sand is shipped in, and the water has fecal tissue to some degree that you can't even go in the water. They tell you not allowed. If that's your idea of life in the Philippines, might as well stay in Brooklyn. Yeah, Rabbi Jew Barker would be fun. That I need to get the first floor of the hotel done for that. I'm not going to put another child. I'm not putting a child in here with us. I'm not going to do that. First of all, it's wood, and if there was a hurricane or a typhoon, there's always the possibility that the structure could collapse. Probably not. We've had 100+ mile an hour gusts here, and this thing stood up like a champ. But I wouldn't put a child in a wood frame house. Ah, yeah. Oh, okay. Lefty was saying, yeah, that's right. That's what I just said. Okay, so Lefty agrees with me. Most of the scammers and snake charmers, women on the internet, come from Lapu Lapu, Dipolog City. Zamboanga is famous. They'll tell you, come to Zamboanga, it's safe. Might be safe for about, well, I don't know. Zamboanga is safe. Let me tell you how Zamboanga is safe. What was explained to me. I hire 2 bodyguards with shotguns and AK-47s and a 45 caliber pistol. I hire them and I bring them with me from wherever I am to Zamboanga, and they protect me. That's what that was what was told for me to be safe in Zamboanga. Not so much different in Dipolo, by the way, and that was the only 2 places that they suggested I hire armed services to protect me. So I don't know. I wouldn't go there. If I can't even carry my own gun. Okay, I have guns in America. I'm going to cry when I give them up. Okay, I'm not allowed to bring a gun to the Philippines. I can get Daisy a gun, no problem, but I can't carry a gun, which gets me sick. I've had a carry permit for 25 years. Never had an issue. Never had a problem. In fact, I am a different person when I carry a gun. You couldn't piss me off if your life depended on it. And your life does depend on it if you pissed me off. I just walk away because I know what's going to happen next. And it ain't going to be pretty. And if there's a lot of people around, there's going to be paperwork. But if I'm in a car and you're screaming and giving me the finger and beeping the horn, and I got a piece of iron on my lap, and you think you're going to piss me off, it ain't going to happen. You run up to my car, I'm still just going to sit there and smile at you. You try to break my window with your fist, I'm going to waste you just that quick. Okay, or hit my window with a tire iron or something like that. With you can't, but I can't. I can't own a gun in America. I never had an issue. I never been arrested where I had a felony. I never have had child abuse or rape or sexual abuse. None of that. My carry permit is. I think it expired in 2017, but I had it for 25 years, 24 years. Nate Rowley from Denver. Denver. That's where they keep the Rocky Mountains. How you doing, Nate? Any questions you have about the Philippines, feel free, because I'm about ready to end this live stream. I have no idea where that is, Peekaboo. Beachfront property, and no idea where it is. Are you near a big city? Do they have hospitals? Do they have doctors? Do they have pharmacies? Do they have malls? There's lots of beachfront property in the Philippines, but there's no, I don't need help. I needed health services for my foot, but there's no health services in a lot of these places. I don't know. All right. I don't know. I never heard of that city. Ah, Peekaboo made a joke. Peekaboo, the joke's on me. It's under martial law. Yeah, and that's another thing. All those waterfront properties where I live, I don't know. I don't get involved much with where I live in a safe community. There is nobody here that has. If they have any animosity towards me, it doesn't show. That even could be a possibility, but typically people with animosity don't go out of their way to say, Michael, come to my house for Christmas, come to my house for Easter, come to my house for the fiesta, come. Michael, your foot is injured. Let me give you a free ride. And I said, no, I will not ride your hobble motorcycle or tricycle for free. I will pay you, but I'm going to walk anyway. But I don't take advantage of anybody here. Guys give me rides. That would be a 15 peso motorcycle ride to one of the local areas where you could get jeepneys. And they tell me no money, Michael, no money. I give them I will not let them go until they take the money. Okay, there is nobody here. Nobody. There was no crime here. There was a report of crime about Michael Lindorf. I had asked people that no more super chat. Maybe you hadn't been part of. I'm here to give people information today. Okay, thank you for the donation. Okay, Michael says no question for me. Just wanted to say how much I continue to enjoy your videos and live streaming. Thank you very much, Michael Lindorf. Lindorf is a name that I understand because I grew up in a community where there were lots of Germans and Europeans, but my friend, Elmer Lindorf, his name was, but his real name was Elmendorf Lindorf. I think that was his name from school. We used to have fun with him. He was a big guy too, big tough guy, but he had a really jolly soul. Elmendorf Lindorf. I think that was his name. But thank you very much. If you have a question, today is open question day about anything about the Philippines. So that's why I requested people don't send any money through Super Chat. But thank you. And your money, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with that. Daisy and I enjoyed the fish that Tudor Lloyd Roberts was his name. Bought us some squid the other night. And with your money, we're going to buy some fresh fish. And that will buy us a kilo of fish is about 200 pesos, 220 pesos. That will buy us 2 kilos of fish on 2 different nights, and we will cook it ourselves. So thank you again, Michael. And we'll make a video to that effect. So thank you. And if you have any questions about anything about the Philippines and prices here, hotels, hotel prices, discount hotels, airfare, if you ever come into I could tell you how to save money on airfare, Michael. It doesn't matter if you come into the Philippines. I can show you how to, if you have any trips planned, I can give you a method and everybody else a method how to save 10, 20, or maybe even 30% on an airplane ticket. Which I'm going to explain in a minute anyway, being that maybe it'll be my last topic. Thank you. That's enough here. How many did I drink? 3? 3 bottles of water. It's a product called star anise. It's a little spice. It keeps the bacteria from forming in the bottle, and it makes it taste like licorice. It's 10 pesos, 20 cents for, I don't know, 10, 15 grams, and you can make 20 gallons. You want to give me the star anise? I'll show you what it looks like. Now, somebody said the star anise from Japan was poison and the star anise from China is not poison. I don't know which one this is, but I've been drinking it for several months, and I've never been sick or had a stomachache. It looks like peppercorn. It's about 1 inch in diameter. It's a star. Okay, and I put 1 or 2 of these in the bottle every 4 or 5 days, and I just leave the old ones in the bottle. No bacteria forms from your saliva, from your mouth. You could leave the water bottle, glass bottle, out in the sun for a week after you drink out of it. No bacteria in the bottle. It's a natural bacterial, antibacterial product. You can make tea out of it. You can use it for flavored water, flavored drinks. it's 20 cents for a bag that big. And instead of lemons that get turned into a disaster after 3 days outside or out of the refrigerator, you could leave this water in that bottle for 2 months and drink it. There's still no bacteria in it, even after you drink out of it. No smell around the cap or under the cap, nothing. Okay, now Pad says, God bless you guys and thanks for the honest, direct information. When is your next live chat? I don't know. I have no idea. It will probably be tomorrow at 10 o'clock. There's so much subject material to deal with here in the Philippines. But 3 hours, I'm going on 3 hours talking now. My voice gets a little harsh. Honey, never mind, I got one of you. I get tired. Actually, this is a little bit exhausting, talking for 3 hours. Plus, if you'll notice, I haven't stood up. If you watch this video from start to finish, so I'm actually urinating in one of my old shoes. Just kidding. So, no, it's hot here. And the reason I don't have the aircon on is because it shorts out the internet connection when it kicks on and off. Okay, thanks. Well, we can't have our dinner tonight because the dinner from Excelsior we cannot have tonight because we still have almost 3/8 of a kilo of squid that we're going to cook up for lunch and have it for dinner, lunch one way and dinner a different way. But tomorrow we may go out for dinner. So Peekaboo, have a nice afternoon. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Maybe not. Depends on the weather. Depends on if there's a blackout. Depends on if the internet service is even working. Sometimes the internet does go off here for a week at a time, and they don't tell you why. And they don't even take it off your bill unless you call them up and ask them to remove 10 days of no service from your bill, which should be automatic, but they don't care. The people on the internet and the phone companies in the Philippines, they have nothing but good things to say about you because you're all number one. That's what the people on the internet and the phone companies. Michael Lindorf. Yeah, we have, when I say fresh squid, I'm talking about squid that was caught. Usually squid is caught at night. At night, we bought it in the morning. It might have been 5-hour-old squid. Might have been 10-hour-old squid, but it was on ice. And it's not tough like the squid you get in a restaurant in New York where you're chewing it. The squid is cut in like 3/8 slivers, that wide. First of all, I'll give you the price for the squid. Yeah, okay. Now, most people in New York call squid bait fish, but calamari was how so many restaurants became multi-millionaires by selling bait fish. So I like squid. I always like squid. But it's always tough because it's frozen 1 or 2 times, okay? Usually, I worked for Lenny's Clam Bar, Lenny's Pizzeria. The squid was chewy. It's like rubber. You take these squids are about 6 or 8 inches, 10 inches long. It's, what did you say, 450 pesos a kilo? Yeah. 400, it's $9 a kilo for squid. So it's $4.50 a pound. It's fresh squid. And they gut it and they chop it up for you and clean it with water, which if you have to do that on your own in a sink.
$8.
450 pesos is $9. 9. Well, we're basing 50 pesos to the dollar. Could be $8.75 because pesos are high now, low now. But anyway, so for $4.50 a pound, you pick it out, they clean it, they cut it up, and they cut the rings, and then you can fry it. We're not going to go through the trouble of breaking them. I get the frying pan. I do sizzling hot with hot sauce, my own personal hot sauce. Sizzling. I mean, I was getting the rice cooker red hot. which didn't help the burner much, which is why I bought a stove. But I get the burner going red hot and put the oil in. The hotter the oil, the less chance anything is to stick. Hot oil, cold frying pan. Hot frying pan, cold oil, no stick. And then I put the hot sauce in with 2 fans on because it burns my lungs otherwise. Then I put the garlic in. And then I put the peppers and the onions in. Red onions we use, and bell peppers. So we still have almost a little bit more than a quarter of a kilo or half a pound left of that, which is going to make a nice lunch and dinner. So we'll have that dinner in maybe not tomorrow, 2 days from now, from the Xxxxxx, a gentleman named Xxxxxx. Okay. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Daisy, come and say goodbye. We're going to wrap this up. It's going on 2 hours and 45 minutes. My voice is getting weak.
What is the name? Excelsior.
Excelsior. We will write it down afterwards. We'll make the video. We're going to go to we're going to go to one of the nice local hotels. When we get there, it'll be a surprise for me too, because I actually wanted to see that venue. Yeah, this is digressing back to the people that weren't here. Thank you, Michael McFarland. Michael Lindorf, good night. Good day. God day to you both. Good night day to you both. Yeah, good night day. Thank you. All right, DR, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for participating. I ask people, Pads, have a great day, back at you. I ask people I want to see the hamburger patty. Now, here, I'm going to tell you want to hear about a $23 hamburger in the Philippines, which I'm not going to get. We're going to have a different kind of meal. But I went to a restaurant in a hotel called the Bellevue. We took quite the ride to get there. And I said, I want to see your hamburger list. So they have the Super Deluxe. They have a Super Deluxe hamburger. The Super Deluxe hamburger, for all intents, 675 pesos, 700 pesos. Let's just call it 700 pesos. That's $13 for a hamburger. But it doesn't come with French fries. Okay, so French fries were 300 pesos. So now you're talking 1,000 pesos or $20 for a hamburger. Okay? It doesn't come with a salad or anything like that. It comes with, shows you lettuce and tomato, but I don't know. They wouldn't show me the plate. They're not going to show you the plate till you get there. But now you're paying $20 for a hamburger plus the tip. You're going to leave. So you're talking about $23 for a hamburger. So I said to the guy, let me see the hamburger patty. Bring one out. No, sir. Not allowed. I said, well, how do I know what oh, they're good hamburgers. I said, I've heard that before. I hear that all the time. We make good hamburgers. They make junk. They get a box of beef patties out of the supermarket. They throw it on a grill, frozen hamburger on a grill, and that's their good hamburger. That's a good hamburger in the Philippines. But it was $20. The last time we spent, it was they took us out because I did video for their wedding. I think it was 300 pesos for a hamburger. It was all breadcrumbs, eggs, breadcrumbs filled. So I actually want to see one. No one was there. I want to see what it looks like. Just look at a cooked hamburger. May I look at a cooked hamburger, please? We're not going to go there, but we're going to go to a nice. I know in Alona Beach, which is a little bit further than the Bellevue, I know there they make good hamburgers. I know that for a fact. But okay. Oh, they make great hamburgers in Cebu, dude. Michael McFarland, the Big Bang. I've had the Big Bang. It's not quite as big as a 12-inch pizza. It's 9 inches in diameter. It's on the 3rd floor on the terrace. I know where you're talking about. It's not 12 inches though. It's a 9-inch hamburger. 9 inches. Where's the plate? Never mind. It's a 9-inch hamburger roll with an 8-inch hamburger, 5/8 of an inch thick, with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, cheese, salt, and pepper on a toasted bun. And it was a ridiculous price, $4, I think it was. No, that was at the hotel I stayed in. It was $4. At the Ayala Mall, it was $6. That now it might have been a different store that this Michael McFarland is talking about, but it was $6 for a hamburger. This and it was real meat. Okay, that's the point here. It was real meat, really roasted on a not charcoal, but a gas grill. At least it was gas grill. Okay. Okay, that was the last time I had a good hamburger. And then after that, now that was $4 for a hamburger this big in the hotel, $6 at the Ayala Mall, and in Alona Beach they had a hamburger roll that was about 3.5 inches in diameter. The hamburger was less than 3 inches in diameter, but it was a solid 1/2 inch thick, and they would give it to you raw. It was okay. It wasn't nothing compared to the Big Bang in Cebu. So I'm not going to Cebu for a hamburger. Yeah, well, Michael McFarland, I think, when you say it feeds 4 people, it does. It feeds 4 people. I can eat the whole thing without even batting an eyelash. You know that's a fact, Jack. I've eaten the whole hamburger with the roll and the side order of French fries. I'm not proud of those days, but I weighed 268 pounds. I'm down to a slim 227 pounds now. I gotta tell you, but I'm in much better shape, honey. Okay, so I'm in much better shape, but I could still eat that whole hamburger. My stomach will accommodate that if I sit down for an hour. I say, so ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what tomorrow's topic is going to. Oh, let me ask you guys a question. I sent out a post via my cell phone saying that there was going to be a live stream at 10 p.m. in American time, U.S. Eastern Standard. Did anybody get a notice that I put up prior to my live stream? Did anybody get a pre-notice saying there was going to be a live stream? Nobody yet. Michael McFarland weighs 140 pounds. Wow. I weighed 140 pounds when I was a sophomore in high school. And I was probably stronger then than I am now. Nobody got the notice. So nobody got a notice that I posted. No, that would have gone to my YouTube account. I posted it from my YouTube video account. Said post this now, and I posted it to my subscribers. Nothing to do with Patreon. Okay. Nobody seems to have got. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Fazio and
This is me.
in the Philippines, baby. Thanks for watching. And if somebody shows me that they got it or didn't got it, I can't see the screen. I'm being Permy. Thanks again for stopping by. I'll try to post it a different way tomorrow, 2 different ways. All right, that's it. I'm tired. Bye-bye. It's more fun in the Philippines, baby. Okay. I'm going to give you what some people call soft, a little soft there. Yeah? You like that? There's some people like that more than others, you know. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I'm sure I want to end it. I ended it on a good note, though, didn't I?